Right, are we ready? Is it working? I genuinely don't know. Can't hear myself. Monaco GP. Have to let me know in the chat. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? 1 second. Yes, there we go. Is it working? Let me know if it's working, the sound. Love the grid walks. There's a new grid walk video being approved that's going to come out. Could release it straight after this, actually. I just need to see if I can get my footage up because I'm not in the UK right now. I'm not in the UK right now, so let's see. This did work last time. This did work last time. Hang on. Monaco Grand Prix, come on. TV guide. Sport. Formula One. Requires an internet connection, that would help. Bear with me, chat. Bear with me. What am I doing wrong? We've got the live timings and everything. Okay, how do I do this? Hang on, there's a way to do this. It is working. It's loud and clear. It's not too loud, is it? How do I get this? Ah, got it. Got it. That's how you do it. Okay, so right. Bear with me. We're going to be it's 12 minutes till the race. I just want to get the live footage up, and this is how you do it. So, I think I've got it now. This is going to be a game changer if we can get it. Come on. Come on. Let's do this now. Welcome everyone. 1 second. I just want to get the footage up for me. Yes! We've done it. Don't I have a spare cable here? Oh no. Oh no. How am I going to power my phone? I haven't thought this through. Hang on, I need to get another plug. Welcome everyone. Welcome Jolanda, Isabel, Paflug. Speaking of Paflugs, excited to know that Anne Hathaway's a big football fan as well, isn't she? Turn 1, Charles or Oscar. We're going to see. So it is, as you can see, the top there is a Ferrari pole here, and Verstappen all the way down in P6. Look at where Perez is. I mean, what is Perez doing these days? Let me just get my charger. Bear with me. Let me get that. Now I've got everything I need. I've got the footage. I've got half a bottle of Coca-Cola. I've got the timings up. We've got the chat. Perez is turn 1 torpedo. It's going to have to be big heroics into Sandivot from P16 from Perez. Right, now I can catch up with you. Chaya, the proportions of the usual things on screen are a bit off for me. Yeah, it's a mobile setup here. I'm on my laptop, so let me know how you want it, though. Let me know how you want it. We can change it around. I can change it around, so we can go with the flow. Welcome, Raw Talk from Australia. Are you supporting Piastri then? Is the Piastri clan in the house? Is it going to be another dub for... Well, it wasn't a dub for McLaren in Miami, but it did kind of feel like it. Who was here on the Miami stream? Oh my goodness. I remember saying, wow, look how hench I look from this position. I look like I've been working out. Look at this. It's the gun show. What do we think? Maybe I just stream like this. It's all perspective. It's all perspective. Sigournisse was here. I tell you, I called it. Some of us in chat called it. That it could happen. Oh, I'm bleeding. Being bitten. Magic of angles. Why do my setups at home not look like this? How can I not? Why can I not get like this at home? It's all good. Rory's in the house. Well, it could be a Ferrari win here. Now, we won't get cars on the screen here because that would be illegal. Welcome, Brandon from Bulgari. Watching at the hotel by a swimming pool tonight. Is my flight. Tonight is your flight back. Well, don't miss your flight. Don't miss your flight. You can watch on the go. Lower the cam position. I think it's very precariously positioned right now. If I move it, just might not work. What time does the race start? It starts in 8 minutes. Sky have gone to adverts. I haven't said hello to everyone. Welcome to Ralph from Australia. No worries, Ralph. Michael, Chaya, I Razzle Dazzle, Beef and Barley, Triple Beam, F1 with Prevar, Simewoods, Isabel, Dimitrium. I'm in Greece right now. I'm in Dimitrium's country. Nicholas Legion, Golden Wing, Lucy, Vlatka, Christopher Rains, Avi. Who else have we got here? Jules, Jasu, Michael Vogel, Benno 3000, Rory T72, Hannah McGarry, Jolanda, Grazina, Chloe. I made 2 cakes, London. Yeah, you were making cakes, weren't you? Noah Gunnell. Amazing. Welcome along, everyone, and more people as well. Greetings from the Philippines. Is it when I'm streaming from abroad, it's always big Philippine crew? Maybe I get pushed more to the Philippines. Roll from Netherlands. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, the classic, the 1-2. Who do I think will win? I think Leclerc's going to win this. Oh my god, I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. There we go. Dutch line in the house as well. Hello from Quebec. Hello from Saudi. Yeah, I think Leclerc's going to win. I don't know if anyone thinks differently, but I reckon this is a Leclerc win. I love at the top though. You got Ferrari, McLaren, Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton. This is looking like a very tasty race here. Are we going to get a safety car? Because they will need to pit once. So, someone call an ambulance. Who needs an ambulance? Joris is here from Amsterdam. Yeah, we met in Amsterdam. How's it going today? It's going very well. Isabel's got the candles out. What good luck candles. Craig, hello from everyone in Croatia. Hello to the Croatian crew. The crewdom. Piastri Kapincha. Okay, let us know in the chat then who you think's going to win this race, as we are 6 minutes away from the start. Who's going to win? Brandon saying Norris may be a surprise. Let me know in the chat who's going to win. Can I get a little stand for my phone? Oh yeah, got my little camera thing. Maybe that will work and prop it up. Leclerc. Wow, everyone's saying Leclerc. Ralph's saying Hamilton. Okay, Raw taught Piastri. Simon Piastri from turn 1. Well, you'd have to go round the outside, right, at Saint Devot. I mean, stranger things have happened. There we go. What a nice setup this is. Dimitrov going for Alonso. Ain't going to happen. That is not going to happen. I mean, last year, Alonso was the closest challenger. And then the year before, Alonso did the Alonso train. Max spins it, Ferrari strat. I think it's a really interesting one here, right? Is Max going to be able to do some overtakes? Like, is Max actually sharp enough to maybe overtake coming out of the tunnel or something? Or is he going to try and overtake and he's just not sharp enough that he's going to cause a big accident? I think it's an interesting one. Also, what does it do for the championship if Max crashes out here? Welcome, Tiny38 for the subscription. Ricardo down in P12. Look at Snowder again in the top 10. Gazzy and Ocon. We know that the Alpine, this circuit tends to be one of the better ones for the Alpines. Max might get the Red Bull working for him. Jolanda, Leclerc wants to win his home Grand Prix. Well, anyone who's been following Formula One since Leclerc's been there, since I think about maybe 2018, he's just had the worst luck. He's had the worst luck at his home Grand Prix for the Monegasque. This is the only time of the year where you hear the word Monegasque, really, isn't it? Kalachi saying Leclerc. F1 would provide expects a 98 Belgium. What, like Spa 98? Isabel, I think Max get up to P5, but I'm sure Lando and Carlos stop him from getting up higher. Well, it's easy to defend, isn't it? Welcome, Snowline. Happy parade day in Monaco. Oh, well, we'll see if it's going to be a parade. Ruud van Loon, also from the Netherlands. Very fast F1 driver. Or Super Formula driver. Still think Max is going to win. Dimitrian crash in turn one all formation lap. That is a huge shout. We will see. Is the stream working okay, by the way? We're not dropping it. Why, when I go elsewhere, do the streams work better than my HQ? Yeah, there will be dots of the drivers. Don't worry, we got you covered. I just hope that I've got my setup right. I just hope I've got my setup right, basically. But yeah. Isabel, maybe we'll witness a Hannah Schmidt's masterclass at Red Bull. Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting. There we go. We've got tyre choices now. So, interestingly, Russell, Verstappen, and Hamilton on hard tyre. We know that the Mercedes have often favoured the hard tyre. Perez on the hard tyre. So both Red Bulls, both Mercedes going on the hard tyre. It is almost time. Cowboy says, let's go zero overtake race. We'll have to see if it's going to be zero overtake. I need to move a little bit to the left here. Ugh. There we go. Where were you doing quali? I was at a wedding. Not my wedding. Lucy, Piastri has a chance in the car, but maybe... what a Piastri... If you get turn one here, I don't know. The thing here, right, what we've seen all season, we'll do a nation check in a minute. What we've seen all season is that you get sort of like the upper midfield, and at the start you had Verstappen clear. It's crazy how Verstappen how's just gone backwards. Whatever's going Red Bull, but now you have sort of that upper midfield. But at some point you have a roadblock and you have the lower midfield. Sometimes it's a Hulkenberg train. So we're going to see here, where is that train going to be? Who's going to be holding? Who's going to be the cork in the bottle? You know, could it be Russell is going to be a cork in the bottle, and Russell's going to hold up a train? And then if you're Verstappen, do you box really early to get out of that? The strategy on the pit stops here is going to be very critical. Yeah, let's do a nations check though. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. If I put it in hashtag, exclamation mark nations. By the way, we're going to draw as well the winner of the backpack competition from last race. So someone's going to win that backpack. And then we'll do the next one at the next race. Yeah, 1 minute left. The cars are on the grid. India, South Africa, Australia, Netherlands, Lebanon, Thailand, Earth represented, Belgium, Quebec, Scotland, USA, Japan, Germany, Netherlands, Eden, Netherlands. So I think Netherlands, Germany. Hang on, we might have a first win here from Germany. Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Netherlands, UK, Uganda, Philippines, Bulgaria, Slovakia, South Africa, Vietnam, South Africa, Philippines, Qatar. Big representation from the Philippines again. Davina James from the USA, Ohio, Qatar. So it is pretty global here, which we love to see. South Africa, India, Richmond, Australia. Mr. Andy B certainly almost guaranteed to have a few safety cars at Monaco from UK. Yeah. By the way, we're about to start the formation lap. Uganda, Texas, Manchester United, Norway. Manchester United isn't really a place. Snowline from Lebanon today. Poland, Croatia. The Rolex just ticks over now to 3 p.m. local time in Monaco, and the formation lap is underway. So the formation lap is underway, everyone. Lucy's predicting a crash at swimming pool /Tabac. We'll see. Maybe someone trying to go too wide into the swimming pool chicane, have a crash like we saw Mortara have in Formula E. Then remembers the live stream did there. So yeah, it's going to be a one-stop. You're going to go from the mediums to the hards, or vice versa, depending on what you're starting on. No worries, Beef and Barley. Great to have you with us. Please do feel free to hit that like button. Please share the stream actually right now. If you're enjoying this, just hit that share button, the red share button. Share it on Twitter, Facebook, on YouTube. Tag me in it. It's always so cool to get the notifications now as I see everyone sharing it. This is going to be exciting. It was an exciting race last year. Welcome Ragavid Das in the house as well. Live track crash at the first corner. Reynald go Piastri for the win. Piastri takes his father out. Well, I do use his dad's software when I go karting, actually. Mia, this race might be entertaining to London. Did anyone see the F2 almost crash in the tunnel with Hadja? Pretty crazy. So yeah, the car is a great day in Monaco. It's like really saturating the pictures on Sky Sports. Like, normally they don't do this, but it's like really saturated. Like they've got a filter on it. So I think the first cars are just coming around Raskas. Yeah, it was close. I mean, it could have been a huge crash. By the way, if anyone's been to Monaco, in that tunnel, there's a huge drop into the sea. Like it's just you're above the sea, you're like over the top of the sea, and the sea goes like under the hotel basically. So you really don't want to you don't want to test the catch fencing there. But yeah, great reactions. Absolutely packed grandstands. But I don't know if anyone's got the live pictures as well. It looks like they've really got stylized cameras. Like it looks like a film, not real life. Okay, so Charles Leclerc is in the box now. Now I'm 40 seconds behind probably. So I'm gonna. There you go. You got the live timings. I'm gonna call it as I see it. So just what you can see live timings. I'm gonna let you know what I see from the pictures, and I'll catch you up. So I'm gonna let you know what I see on the pictures, and then I'm gonna catch you up here, if that's okay. Mick Schumacher's in the house with Mercedes. So as I'm seeing it in the pictures, the last cars, two Haas cars pulling into the grids. So everyone's there. So again, on my pictures, a little bit delayed. I'm going to catch you up. It's one red light, two red lights, three red lights, four red lights, five red lights at Monaco. Red lights go out. Charles Leclerc on the inside. It's a great start. Piastri's going to have to fight here with Carlos Sainz, I think. I think Sainz is going to get through. Yeah, it's side by side and Saint Devot between the McLaren of Piastri and Sainz, and somehow Piastri manages to hang it around the outside, so he maintains P2, but you almost lost it. So it's basically as we were, a bit of a lockup from Carlos Sainz as he goes into Casino there. Oh, another lockup! Oh, Carlos Sainz is out. He's locked up. I'm not sure he's out. He's had there must be a failure with the car or something. Carlos Sainz locked up going into Casino. They locked up fully in Casino, and he's gone deep. So huge drama for Carlos Sainz, and it might be a red flag here. There's a yellow flag in sectors 1 and 2, but I reckon that's a setup issue with the car, like we saw Verstappen have in Melbourne with the brakes. There was something not right there. I'm seeing red flags come in the chat. I'm seeing red flags. Yes, red flags out. Okay. So red flags are out. Yeah, red flags. That must be Carlos Sainz's car having an issue there. Oh no! There was a big crash. There was a big crash on the curve coming into Oh, is it Verstappen? Is it Verstappen or Perez? I think it's Perez. I think it's Perez. One of the Red Bulls and oh my goodness me! There's been a big crash. This is on the left. Oh, the Red Bull. It looks like a triangle now. There's no front wheels on that car. Both Hasses are involved. It's a red flag, so I think everyone will have been told to go into the pits. I don't know if anyone's seen live pictures of this yet, but there has been a huge crash between two Hasses and the Red Bull of Sergio Perez. And this is what happens if you don't qualify well in a Red Bull. You're going to end up there. And the car looks like a triangle. There's no front wheels on the Red Bull. I don't know if it's been hit from both sides or is smashed from one. It looks like something out of Wipeout. Big mess. Is that good news for Carlos Sainz? Because Carlos Sainz has made it, I don't say good news, but has that saved Carlos Sainz a little bit, perhaps? And also, a red flag, do they go back? Do they go back to the original grid? Because it's on the first lap? I don't know. In some of my karting championships, if there's a red flag on the first lap, you go back to the original grid. There's not a lot left of his car. I mean, Perez looks okay. He was out of the car, but it's been a long time. I mean, I'm going back to like Kubica at Montreal, if you remember that, with his sort of feet hanging out the front. That's how destroyed the Red Bull is. So I'm having a look at a replay now. Oh, big crash from Perez, and I think he might have taken out both Hasses. I think I need to see what's happened here. But Perez sort of like, I think, might have taken out both of the Hasses. It's an absolute disaster for Haas, this. Gnarly saying Haas is responsible. Isabel Flug saying, I believe rules say original grid. Does anyone know? Does anyone know for certain? Could this be a sort of like lifesaver for Carlos Sainz? Potentially. Both Haas are involved. So I look at the live pictures here. Both Hasses are basically out of the race. One is being winched up now on the cable. But the Red Bull is completely totaled. It's one of the most damage I've seen to a car. Honestly, I can't even remember. I can't remember seeing as much damage to an F1 car since Kubica in Canada in like 2007, whatever it was. Yeah, Haas might need to declare bankruptcy here. They're winching up the car, but like the gearbox is hanging out the back of the Haas or something by like one cable. It looks really dangerous. And they may as well just pick up the Red Bull. There's not a lot left of it. Ragavir says Perez was desperate to gain position. I'm going to have a look here. Restart replay. I'm going to have a look here. Grosjean. Yeah, you're right, actually. Probably Grosjean's. But what was going on with Carlos Sainz with the lockup? So Carlos Sainz, they went side by side, Sainz and Piastri into Saint Devote, and Piastri was able to hold it round the outside. And then Sainz was clearly having issues coming into Casino locked up. And then on the, yeah. So Sainz, but the Perez crash was completely separate to that, and I'm not seeing a lot of replays. I've seen one half replay that hasn't shown me how it started, so I need to see that. Yeah, red flag currently. I will pin that message. I will pin that. But it's very early for Sainz to get a puncture unless. Oh, hang on! I think a Haas just absolutely ploughed in. I think a Haas absolutely ploughed in to the Red Bull there. I just saw a very interesting angle. So Perez losing control. Yeah, but Saint Devote was at. This is at the top of the hill. So you come through Saint Devote, and then the left-hander at the top of the hill. That's where Perez had the incident. Sainz is washed. Let's see. I'm on board with Carlos Sainz now. I'm going to see if I can detect any contact that might have given a puncture. So he went side by side into Saint Devote on the inside. Piastri on the outside. Yes, there was contact. There was contact. It would have been the side of Piastri's floor has maybe cut the front left of Carlos Sainz. Yes, yes, yes. So that's how Carlos Sainz got a puncture. And then it must have been slightly coming off the rim or something because he's locked up at Casino. Now I'm on board with Perez. This is the one. I'm on board with Perez. Hang on. On board with Perez now. So Perez goes into Saint Devote. He's on the outside. He's getting mugged left, right, and centre. Battles with a stake. So he comes up the hill, past all the shops, left hand side. I think he gets taken out. I think he gets taken out by a Haas. I think he gets absolutely rammed from behind by a Haas, and he's giving it. He's in the cockpit like almost like, "What have you done?" So now I'm on board with a Haas. Now I'm on board with that. I'm on board with Hulkenberg here. So Hulkenberg is behind Perez. I'm gonna sneeze. Right. So, oh whoa, that has to be a race ban. That has to be a race ban. I think it must be Magnussen. What you are doing, trying to overtake there, is possibly the stupidest overtake I've ever seen in my life. And I do karting in the UK. That is stupid. That is dangerous. And it puts a different light on Magnussen this season because he's been getting a lot of praise for doing this defensive driving. If you've been watching these streams, I haven't been a fan of it. I don't think it's okay. And that move is just absolutely ludicrous. That is a PlayStation move. What is he doing? And then he's caused the incident that's taken out his teammate as well. It's silly. The car could go upside down there. There's again a sheer sort of face on the right hand side. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So I'm on board now with Magnussen. Now I'm looking at the Magnussen on board. Goes through Saint Devot. He's behind Perez. He just needs to back out. He just needs to back out. He basically, that's all down to Kevin Magnussen. Lucy Bear, yeah, great. Shares and Oliver Bearman have just absolutely soared. Max Verstappen looking at it on the screen is like, he can't believe it. I mean, that is absolutely crazy. But this is why you don't want to qualify that low down. Checo was a bystander. Yeah, that, by the way, my view is that Perez has nothing wrong to do there. I'll need to see again if maybe Perez should go more to left-hand side, but that for me is basically all on Kevin Magnussen, and I think that should actually be a race ban. I think it should be a race ban. So Oliver Bearman, get ready to drive the Haas again. Chat, what do we think about that? Let me know in the comments what you think about it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. When will it start? Well, they've recovered the cars. They're going to sweep the track. I don't think we'll be too far away unless there's big damage to the barrier. I'm trying to have a look here as people are walking down. I mean, there's obviously been some big impacts on the barrier, so we'll see. Yeah, there's a red flag at the moment. There's a red flag right now. Zed White is saying he's going to be banned next race due to the dry points anyway. And if you're Nico Hulkenberg, you're thinking, get me to Audi. Why is my teammate such a clown? It was such a genuine clown move from Magnussen. Like, it's just stupid. So I'll try and explain it. So, they come out of Saint Devot. Perez is like really clear actually of Magnussen, and as they go up the hill, Magnussen just sort of like puts himself. This is going up the hill at Monaco on the right hand side, and then it just it's silly. Can they work on the cars now? I suspect they can work on the cars. So Carlos Sainz, this is given Carlos Sainz had a puncture, this is potentially saving his race a little bit. And I wonder if you're Carlos Sainz, do you box now and go on the hard tyre immediately? What do we think? Tatame tried to retire the Monaco race. It's useless. No, I think it's drama. I mean, it's full grandstands here. Blacker, this used to be my favourite race when I was young. Somehow my opinion changed. Blacker, let us know what's changed. You used to be a big fan of Monaco. Do you think the car's just too big? I mean, this is a classic case of the cars being too big because we saw in Formula E they do go a few wide. I'm looking now Ocon at the hairpin. So obviously the racing carried on. They should have red flagged that immediately though. Now I don't know why it took so long to get a red flag out. It does kind of worry me. I mean, obviously the cars are miles away. Goodness me, Ocon's been taken out on the entry to the tunnel. And he was a bit right hand down there. I wonder if Ocon's got suspension. Oh, don't tell me it's Gasly. Was it Gasly and Ocon coming together at Alpine? Oh no, it is! It is! And I think that's left rear suspension for Esteban Ocon. Gasly, what did he do? What did he do? Why do you try and attack me? Oh my gosh. The Alpines have taken each other out as well. Definitely big damage for Ocon there. Red flag. Gasly saying the whole car's damaged. I think Gasly's car got off there quite lightly. But yeah, Ocon went for a mad move. Oh, that's completely Ocon's fault. Ocon's just had a complete moment of madness as well. Yeah, well, Isabel Flug saying Ocon up in P10. I don't think so after that. Hopefully they're going to be able to repair the car, but Ocon basically just put Gasly and like gave him no space. Lucy doesn't like Monaco. Unpopular opinion. I think it's actually the popular opinion to dislike Monaco. Oh man, madness. So we've lost both Hasses. We've lost the Red Bull of Perez. We might have lost Esteban Ocon because there's definitely suspension damage there. We might have lost Pierre Gasly. So, looking great for Carlos Sainz now getting back in the points. All of the Tag Heuer branding. The Tag Heuer branding most definitely has cracked under pressure there because it's destroyed on the barriers. But the barriers themselves look to be pretty intact. Well, I just turned in. What happened at start? Turned in like Max, and you can see the pinned comment. Hopefully, it's got you the details. Snowline says, I don't like Monaco either, despite having been to the race. Just let us know what it was like, Snowline. When did you go? How was the race when you went? Has anyone else been to Monaco in the chat? What's happened so far? What hasn't happened so far? That's the most dramatic. Who called Spa 98 in the chat? Who called Spa 98? Someone said it. I demand to know, and I want you to buy my next lottery ticket. Welcome, Pranel. Good to see you. Good to have you back on board here. Signwood, it's going to be one of those. If you finish, it might be old school Monaco. This, yeah, the map is working. It's just everyone's in the pits right now. So if you chat, I want to talk about Carlos Sainz. If you're Carlos Sainz, do you now box immediately? Do you box on the first lap? Go to hards to the end? What do we think? Rex Banner says Monaco 96. Jacob has been to Monaco, but not during race week and pre F1 fandom. Did you walk the track? Blacker, I'm just old. Far for too much drama with possibly worse consequences. They're all babies in my eyes. I hate to see something happen. Yeah, you can't. That Maxon move is just a stupid move. You just have to back out in that situation. If they can change the tyres now, that doesn't help Carlos Sainz because Carlos Sainz will want to sort of get that pit stop done early and be out of traffic. So if everyone's going to change it now, Carlos Sainz would lose that advantage. Nabura not enjoying the ESPN telecast. Remember, the footage here comes from Monaco directly, doesn't it? Oh no, Chai's saying guardrails have to be replaced. Oh no, we've been here before. Barriers need to be replaced, and there's not a lot of time at Monaco. If anyone was here, was anyone here for the WEC stream we did at what was it in the end, 9 hours of Spa? When they had to work on those barriers. It was the same barriers. What lap are you on now? We never finished lap 1 actually. You can change during a red flag. So that means pretty much, would you say pretty much everyone is going to change to give yourself the option? Welcome, Jay Teddy. Hello, everyone. Hello, Kireth. Can't wait for Leclerc to unseat Max for a change. We'll see. Looking forward to the race. Yeah, it hasn't really started yet. 6 hours of Spa. It was gnarly, dude. Tony Ford, the Magna Crasher is for Le Mans Drive, not for F1 is dangerous. Yep. Welcome, Mark Goodman. Snowline saying repairing the barrier is definitely a big job. I'm not seeing any pictures of it, but we saw at Spa they needed to basically get the angle grinder out and grind both sections out, replace them, and it just took forever. The big Earl Bamber crash. The Bamber job on the barriers. Talking with trains, Monaco is great, but you need to spend lots to get the best experience. I disagree. Has anyone seen my video of how to go to Monaco for free or on like a budget? I disagree with that. Lucy saying standing start confirmed, I think. Okay, so it could be a standing start. Do you think they'll be able to repair any of the Hasses and get it back down? Jacob Fogg, I was there passing with Laurie in the early part of the mid-90s. Very nice. If it's order when red flag came out, there might, it might be difficult to work out if someone's in the middle of an overtake or something. But who's my favourite team in WC Hypercar? Well, I drive a Peugeot, so I guess I've got to be loyal to Peugeot. But I think Peugeot might pull out by the sounds of things. Will the hards last 78 laps? I mean, give yourself a chance. You can always pit again if you need to. Here we go. Mark coming in. Mark saying first lap not completed, so cannot change tyres until at least one lap. Is that your suggestion or is that the rules? NXMB saying Magnussen is literally Mrs. Fritter from Cars. Very harsh words there. Snowline, watch it from a private apartment. That's the dream. We'll do this one day from a private apartment at Monaco. I'll be looking over and telling you what's happened. Welcome, Lee and Connor. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, definitely take a look at that video. Right, Josh was saying they're removing the whole wall and rebuilding it. That could. I'm worried now. What's the window we have? What's the window of time that the race needs to be completed? Do you remember we had this issue at like Spa, didn't we? The Alpines aren't that good in WEC at the moment, I think. Can the Monaco circuit be longer? I think they think about it, but it's not really that possible. Got a tickly cough. Oh, I got a bottle of water here. Nice. Nando says, I'm late, question mark. You're kind of late, but you're also kind of not late. Liam Lawson just chatting with Daniel Ricciardo. It's kind of an interesting vibe, that, isn't it? Very interesting vibe. Welcome, Jerry Manguni. Snowline saying 3 hours, maybe. Liam, anyone BT boat race? Where's BTC? Is it wet then in the UK? What's the weather where people are? Andre, what time's the race restart? I don't know. But if they're going to be rebuilding the barrier, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. Get them all in Max's sim to the first 20 laps. It's a good idea. I'd like to actually. Is Indy 500 going ahead, by the way, or is that wet as well? Do they do that? If it rains at all, can they do that? Or does it have to be really dry? Liam said, isn't it like 4 hours? I thought it was 4 hours. I thought it was 4 hours. Once a race starts, it has to be done within 4 hours, I thought. Entertainment, how many laps are in? You can see at the top there, we have not completed the lap yet, which is going to be interesting on terms of how you classify the order. Someone's absolutely spamming the love heart, so you love to see it. Welcome, TCR. Can Norris win the race? He can do. Campo, can Sainz start again, but from P16? Yes, I think he will, without a puncture. And I think I know. Oh, race control, order for restart, 16, that's Leclerc. 81, 55! Carlos Sainz is going to be P3! Order for restart, 16, 81, 55, 4, 63. Carlos Sainz, yes. This is great news for Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz has hit the old Forza rewind button here, hasn't he? Chat, how have Ferrari wangled that one? Lucy confirming it's a 4-hour window. Dr. Onishay saying quality order. I didn't see the boat crash video. I haven't seen that. I've been busy. Sainz prayed hard. I mean, I don't know how Carlos Sainz, how much money they've paid there to race control, but that is absolutely fantastic news for Carlos Sainz. Brilliant news for Sainz. Yeah, Sainz gets another crack at it again because Giovanni says, of course, they did not complete even one lap. Ooh. So how do they know who's retired as well? Like, if your car gets recovered off the track, but does that mean that you definitely retired? Because back in the day, like Spa 98, right? You just get in the spare car. Like, when you think about it, Monaco's difficult because it's so cramped. Like, the support races use another paddock and everything. But in fact, there's a car park you can go to. You can see a lot of the cars parked. It is a bit mad considering there's so much money in Formula One. They don't just have a spare car. Because then Perez would now jump in the spare car. I feel like in American sports, like they would just do that. It's kind of silly to not. He's all the way here. You may as well just bang him in the spare car. Rory, pretty sure the second the marshals touch a car, you're out. Well, back in the day, people would get the marshals to push them out of a gravel trap and whatnot. Where is Hamilton? I think it might just be a transponder issue there. Raghav saying Piastri is better than Lando. Big shout. Kevin Magnussen, the slow-mo is horrendous. The slow-mo is not good viewing for. I think he's just going to be ridiculed as well by other drivers. Other drivers are going to be like, you can't drive with Kevin Magnussen. Anyone who's got an axe to grind with K-Mag. By the way, Verstappen had got past Hamilton, right? Was that the order? Oh, no, he hadn't. No, sorry, because Sainz dropped back down. Hanneke, when do you think Verstappen will get to P1? I don't think he's going to get to P1 here. Dude's in the bedroom with his birds. These are my headphones. This is what I wear when I go traveling. These were given to me by Logitech. They're very nice, actually. But they were given to me. Don't think I made a video on them. Ragovit, Magson must be banned. Where is Mansell? Are you the person who comes in the stream always asking about Mansell? Is that you? Terminator saying all races are red flagged. F1, British GT, and BCC. It's just a global. It's a global red flag on racing right now. It's like a protest. Pranel saying Max will win. I disagree. I disagree. I think Leclerc's going to win this, but yeah. I just wonder if the Carlos Sainz, if he'd started in like P16 now, that strat of boxing on lap 1, whether that would have been potentially great for him, I don't know. FIA declared race incident. Are they mad? Are they mad? So the only question is, could Perez have been more to the left? But are they mad? I think I'm going to have a look here on the Sky replay of Perez. V-Man's only bit my motor off for 4 hours getting out of the Amex. Good luck with that. So Perez looking in the mirror. So he had a look in the mirror, but coming out of Sanderford. But I think by then, I think Magnussen was not really Magnussen was never alongside. Has Gasly retired? Yeah, it could be a Gasly train. Great spot there. You can't put all the way on Magnussen. Let's have a look now. So the thing is, Perez is looking in the mirror a lot. He is looking in the mirror a lot. Sambucha, no one knows yet. Perez was looking in the mirror. So I just wonder if they're saying, Perez, you could have been a lot more to the left. Because at the point they pretty much make contact, I think Perez is looking in his wing mirror on the right hand side. Is that why? Omar, what happened? Can someone explain? Basically, there was a huge crash with Perez and Magnussen, and it got Hulkenberg involved as well. Welcome, ordinary people. Neptune, Sniper Lord as well. Sniper Lord. What are the chances Fernando will win? Very low, I would say. Yeah, Carlos Sainz going back in. Zoe, is he okay? Yep, he is okay, Zoe. I mean, the car was completely destroyed. Need to replace Checo ASAP. Guan Yu Zhou was born in Taiwan, not Chinese. I don't know what the relevancy of that is, but okay. Great. You must be at 40. I'm only 28. Yeah, everyone's walked away out of those crashes. It's a very good point about the Alpine. If it has damage, it's going to be a huge strain. It cause a huge strain. It's just such a silly crash that didn't need to happen. And Nico Hulkenberg almost escaped from it. He almost managed to get through, and he just got tagged. Well, talking with Train saying Piastri will win, and Ragovic saying Sainz will overtake Piastri in the restart. So 2 different opinions there. Ruud van Loon, it seems the damaged wall is all guide rail. It takes 15 minutes to replace a 4 meter section. Is that how long it takes per 4 meter? And do you know how many meters it is? Imagine if Piastri and Sainz make contact again. It could happen again. We're going to get another standing start restart. I think it's going to be like that lap never happened, except some cars are mysteriously going to have disappeared. And I have to say, Carlos Sainz, he just gave Piastri enough space on the outside for Piastri to sort of, overtake him. But arguably, if he given even more space, he wouldn't have got his puncture. So, Michael Mirrors not needing F1. Just get rid of them. They're really not very good for aerodynamics, Mirrors. Lee saying Hulkenberg was so close to missing the crash. I don't think Gunter's going to be happy because I think he's suing Haas. If Haas go bankrupt here, that's not good news for him. Yeah, that was where he got the puncture. That would have been very interesting if he'd had a relatively slow puncture and he just held up like everyone behind him for a few laps. Hanneke, do you think Tsunoda will finish top 5. He's doing really good. Anything could happen there. Maybe it's just going to be a crazy race. Maybe it's going to be a crazy race. Who crashed? So who's crashed here? So Sainz locked up. He didn't hit the barriers or anything. So Sainz came to a stop. Perez crashed. Magnussen crashed. Hulkenberg crashed. Ocon kind of crashed. And Gasly kind of crashed. On board now looking at Lando. Had the view behind that battle between Piastri and Carlos Sainz. Yeah, as soon as he had that damage, sorry, that contact between Carlos Sainz and Piastri, Carlos Sainz's car started sparking underneath. So it's quite a big, quite a significant amount of damage straight away. Race restarts in 13 minutes. There we go. It's only 13 minutes for the race restart. Guy Incognito just saw the pics. The wreckage of the Red Bull is so small, it's more like a motorbike. Yeah, it does. It looks like one of those sidecars. It looks like a Robin, like a 3-wheeled car. Can Kevin Magnussen still go? No, Kevin Magnussen's car's no way that's going to go. I think both Hasses are going to be out here. I just don't know what's going to happen with the Alpines. There we go. We got another update there. But you know that Red Bull apparently are looking to re-sign Sergio Perez. What's Hamilton doing? He's just chilling. I can see now. Well, this is pretty brave and maybe arrogant. They're saying the race will restart in 12 minutes time, but they're still working on the barrier. So very different from what we saw at Spa in the WEC. Is there any way to make more passing opportunities here? Yes, you make the cars smaller. Imagine doing RC cars at Monaco, how many overtakes there'd be, just as a silly example. Is Verstappen still P5? No, Verstappen will go down to P6, I believe, because of that. That's how I think that's going to work, if I understand it. No, where's Carl? Sheffield, but from Australia. Right, I'm going to get some water. Anyone else want some water? Do I have anything else to eat? I'm just roaming around now. I'm off microphone. Can you see me? There's nothing to eat here. Ah, there is something to eat. That's my snack. Yes, the drivers are getting ready again. See, you just drank water. Okay, good. I'll have some water. Race will start behind safety car. Why are they doing that? Why are they starting behind the safety car? Maybe they don't trust everyone. Yeah, red flag at the moment. But yeah, I think Isabel and Raghavu need to work out what's going here. It's very cold here. It's 19. What is it? What snack? That's the snack. Powerhead said pinned comment needs amending. Perez crashed into K-Mag by cutting across even though news were there. Well, it does seem to be that it was a race incident in the end. Michael saying Haas down to 3 engines now. Yeah, there's a red flag. You can have a look at the pinned comment. Check the pinned comment. Check the old pinned comment. I wonder if there's any damage to Piastri's floor from the contact with Carlos Sainz. We will see, but it seems to be in 9 minutes. In 9 minutes, we're going to be going. I'm going to turn the heating up here. 19 is too cold. I'm going to go 22. What happened with Sainz? That will sort itself out, the standings. We understand that Carlos Sainz is going to be reinstated to P3. In fact, Charles Leclerc is back in the car now with his helmet on. I'm on board here with Lewis Hamilton. Not sure I'm on board with Hamilton. Red flag, keep Delta positive. Okay, there was just when they did the red flag. Yeah, I'm just speculating now. I'm just wondering like whether there could be floor damage to Piastri, but I don't know. It's not something you can really fix in between that. You can cut bits away maybe. La Bounty said Oscar was on the rear of Leclerc before the red flag is Carlet fine. Yeah, and also it doesn't really, to be honest, I don't think floor is that important around Monaco in terms of a race like that. So not compared to some other tracks, not like Silverstone. Karen says Perez went from the Mexican Minister of Defense to chairman of the Tire Barriers Union. Do you think Norris is going to get Piastri in the restart? No, because there's going to be a Carlos Sainz in the way, so I don't think so. Martin, you must be very delayed, my friend, because I haven't brought this up for like at least 3 minutes. And also, there's no way I can eat that unless they're little strips. What are they? Is it going to be one? Does anyone know whether that's one block? Is Perez washed? He could be. He could be. Oh, is it little? Is it loads of little ones? It's strips. It might be strips. Yeah, everyone's getting back in the cars now. There's several in them. Okay. Sorry, I'm not an expert. There we go. So you get a big one, and you get little ones in them. Have they been able to change tyres? I don't know. Does anyone know that? Whether they've been able to change tyres? Let me know if you can hear me chewing and it's not nice. What happened to Sainz? He got a puncture in the first corner when he pulled over at Casino. With some damage to the car. I wonder if it's caused some other damage, but you know what? Do Chewits still exist? Chat. I haven't seen a Chewit since like 2009. Where will Sainz go? People are saying Williams. Oh, there is some attention being given to Piastri's floor. There is some attention being given to it. Why would you not change tyres though? I don't get it, because if there's going to be a load of safety cars, you give yourself the option of just not having to pit again in the race. Unless you, I don't know. And also, it doesn't make a difference whether you're going to pit. You can just pit like in a normal strategy. Yeah, I saw Maxim was giving an interview. How do you try and explain it? Welcome, Ali Burgess, member for 38 months. I need to get the 36-month badge out. 38 months support from Ali Burgess. That's absolutely insane. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the race. Monte Carlo. Yeah, I'm in a hotel room. Welcome, ASMR. Can you not hear me too? Is that not really annoying? Right. Standing start confirmed. Yeah, go on, have another standing start. Be more fun. Did Carlos drive himself back to the pits? That's a very good point. How did Carlos Sainz get back to the pits? I haven't seen any footage of it. Ask everyone to like. Chat, I've been asked. Hit the like button right now. Let's see how many likes we can get in a big like attack. Race will resume in 5 minutes' time. No worries, Seema. Time to get a coffee. Chris, for getting a coffee. Can you give an update if people don't just tune in? Have a look at the pinned comment. Have a look at ye old pinned comment. But yeah, so we will see the cars. They'll come out of the pit lane, and they're actually going to end up burning more fuel here, aren't they? Because are they? Well, they technically have done another lap of the circuit. I wonder if anyone's going to be marginal. You don't think it would make a difference? But I'm not in Indianapolis. I'd love to go to Indy though. I'd rather go to Daytona, but obviously I'd like to go to Indy. That would be great. It may happen. There's no reason why we can't make it happen. Well, there are many reasons why it cannot happen, but we can try. Why was the race stopped? Red flag. Red flag, basically. They've done a pretty good job recovering these cars. Meninda Jet says, huh? Good to have you on board, Mark. Good to have you on board. Yeah, it's going to be it'll be a 45-minute delay essentially. So if we have another one of those, we're going to get awkwardly close, I think, to that cutoff time. Is Ali opening another bar? Is it going to be in a few years' time? It's going to be global. Yeah, if you're just joining us, 3 minutes to go until the race is going to resume. And I think, yes, as I understand it, as I saw the FIA standings, Carlos Sainz is going to be reinstated to P3 without a puncture. So let's see if he can get a few more corners without getting another puncture. We will see. It's been an interesting one so far. And obviously your big losers here are Perez, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, and potentially Ocon as well. And I'm not sure why Guan Yu Zhou. I mean, someone has to be last there, but how did Carlos Sainz get to the pits for Guan Yu Zhou? I'm not sure. You think Leclerc will break the curse to win? I think Leclerc's going to win here. Are the Alpines okay? We don't know, but definitely what I saw the onboard of Ocon, it looked like his suspension was broken in terms of the way the steering wheel was. Have they started the formation lap yet? No, they have not. They have not started it. Welcome. Oh, from Jamaica, very nice. So, just 2 minutes to go. Everyone's in the pit lane right now. So they're in the pit lane. They will go around, I imagine, and basically grid up, and then we'll have another standing start. That's how I imagine they'll do it, unless they're going to do something else like they'll go around, they'll stop on the grid, the mechanics will be able to put tyre warmers on, but I'm not sure they would do that. So, does anyone remember that really weird race in Hungary where there was a situation like this and everyone came back in and went straight into the pits and Hamilton was the only driver doing it on the grid? That one like the most bizarre images. It doesn't get talked about a lot. No info from Alpine, but that just could be standard Alpine things. In fact, why is Ocon not in the car? Ocon's not in the car. If that's live, Ocon, no info from Alpine, but casually Ocon's just like milling around Monaco. So it's just like absolute banter strategy at Alpine here. Hungary 2021, yep. Welcome Quintels, been a red flag. Joe hates Ocon. Why do people hate? Mike feels nervous. Oh, thanks, Reykjavik Das, for the 40 rupees. I hope Leclerc finally wins today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Toast to you. I hope Leclerc finally wins today. Can we absolutely send the claps out there for Ragavir for the donation of 40 rupees, I believe? Thank you so much. Hoping Leclerc wins, so we can put our Ferrari emojis out for that as well. There we go. Here come the claps. Love to see it. Thank you so much for the support. And if you do want to support, just subscribe as well. Anyone, it's completely free. Hit that subscribe button. We might get to 90k subscribers sometime soon, and then we try and make that a big push to 100. And got a lot of exciting things that I'm just trying to close right now in terms of opportunities for creating cool content. So, yeah, exciting times if you want to see more stuff on the channel. Yeah, unless Ocon's going to drive in his Pepe Jeans. Ocon out due to damage. Time or hello from Pakistan. Hello. Yeah, Ocon looked kind of chilled about it because I think he know. Well, no, why is he? That was completely Ocon's fault. That crash. Right, the cars are on the move, by the way, as you can see. You don't need me to tell you that. You can see they're on the move. The race not restarted. The cars are making their way to the grid. Yeah, silly move from Ocon. Arguably, Ocon's move was sillier than Magnussen's. But anyway, I don't think there's going to be a penalty given to Ocon there. Snowline's got the sunglasses out. We're on the way. Scarlet Ferrari. Yeah, there's already a baked-in Ferrari emoji there. Okay, so again, I'm going to be about 40 seconds behind you from what I'm seeing in the pictures, but I will let you know what I see in the pictures and I'll catch you up. Cheat says Max will win and dedicate the win to Snowline. We'll see. What a moment that would be. Working Ryan Gamba as well. Ocon doing Ocon things. How cool are the fire marshal's helmets at Monaco? Super cool. Hannah McRae saying Ocon's out the race. Yes, indeed. Welcome, Yusuf. Yeah, please feel free to subscribe if you're not subscribed. But I just know so many people are subscribed. You just basically all subscribed because you enjoy the streams as we all do. Right. Okay. So going to be a standing start. Why is Hamilton's transponder there? Okay, a bit weird. I'm going to call it as I see it. So I'll be about 40 seconds behind. But I'm just looking at Lando Norris making his way to the grid. So I'm going to be a little bit behind you at the beginning. Just bear with me. But I want to let you know what I see. Yeah, Ocon's out because he did a silly move on Gasly going into the tunnel under already basically red flag conditions. Not the smartest move Esteban Ocon's ever done. Cool guy though. I mean, I met him in Monaco, had a chat with him. Spoken about racing in Gran Turismo because we race each other online as well. Had a great battle with Ocon online actually. Really good battle with Ocon. Welcome Skywinder. Right, here we go. I'm going to be letting you know what I see. It's taking a while for everyone to grid up. It seems a lot slower than under the regular sort of start procedure. Right, that must be Guan Yu Zhou at the back in the terrible green state livery car. So, as I see the pictures, all the cars are on the grid. 1 red light, 2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. Red lights go out for the second time we go racing at Monaco. This time Piastri has a much better start. Is Carlos Sainz going to try it against Santivot? No, he doesn't. In fact, Lando Norris sort of tries to go around the outside of Sainz. Not going to happen. And now I think Russell's on the attack, potentially on Lando. But again, people just sort of putting their nose out, nothing really happening. No damage I could see this time. Looks to be a lot less drama, and we're underway finally, properly, at Monaco. You can see they're on the standings as well. It is Leclerc, Piastri, Sainz, Norris, Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Albon, Gasly. So that is our standing order there. Do I like the McLaren livery? I actually really like it. I actually really like the livery, to be honest. I think, why don't we have a yellow livery in Formula One? It's such a fun livery. Since Alpine or Renault went to Alpine, just looks great. Love it. Leclerc family podium. Lucy loves the McLaren livery. Yeah, we're underway. So George Russell looking quite racy. We know he's on the hard tyre, as is Hamilton, as is Verstappen, as was Perez. It doesn't really matter now. By the way, we can see I can extend the standings there a little bit more if you want to see sector times, or we keep it the way we are. It's up to you. I can move that around, so you let me know. But I think we've got most of the important information. Verstappen falling back. I don't think Verstappen's falling back there. I think he's in the same position. You want to see the times. That will make everything smaller, though. Just so you know, it'll make everything smaller. So it's pros and cons. So if we want to see sector times, let's get the older sector times then. But I just want to let you know how this is going to work. It ain't going to be super pretty. Can you see it's going to be a bit more like that if you want the old sector times, and the map's going to be smaller as well. Ooh, I'm not sure I like it. Yeah, I don't. You know what? What I might do is keep best lap. That's okay. I might keep best lap like that. So we got that. How about that? Is that okay? In the future, I could do 2 scenes and swap between them and whatnot. In fact, I can actually do. I could do a button to just it'll go full screen. Is there a section where you can overtake? You can overtake coming out of the tunnel for sure. You can overtake going around the outside of Sandivot. So yeah, you can overtake here. Sona says, leave it alone. Leave that layout alone. Don't touch it. This is a very prominent map which we like to have. Okay, Piastri does the fastest lap, but this is Monaco. So having just said that you can overtake here, you also can't really. It's very difficult. Who's looking like they're putting pressure on the car ahead? Well, I have to say it's probably Piastri on Leclerc. So keep an eye on that. As you can see, the gaps come down. Was Ocon's damage major? Yeah, to me, it looked like the rear suspension was completely broken. D, not surprised if Max wins. Boring. Are you mad? How? If Max wins here, it's going to be the most exciting race in Monaco history. Well, that's not true, but you know what I mean. Turned up late. What's up with the Ford DNS? There was a big incident on lap one, basically. In fact, there were sort of three separate incidents in terms of Sainz, Gasly, and Ocon, and then the big one with Perez, Magnussen, and Hulkenberg. I don't think. Oh wow, I'm having a look at a replay here. This may be from the start, and I think it was Alonso sort of like thinking about trying to go around outside of Stroll, who was locking up going into Sandoval. So it was a little bit crazy going in. I think it was Lance Stroll who had that lock up. They all made their way through. I don't think there were any overtakes actually really made. Piastri, though, maintaining distance with Charles Leclerc, that is for sure. And in fact, well, I think we have a group of three at the front. So we have the top three drivers, Leclerc, Piastri, and Sainz, close together. Then there's a little bit of a gap to Lando Norris, then a bit more of a gap to Russell. Russell, George, no need to stick this close to Norris, just a amount of tyres. And then Verstappen is actually getting dropped a little bit. Believe it or not, Verstappen is getting dropped. Race control, Sainz, Piastri incident has been noted. That's a bit late coming in. They've had other stuff to deal with, though. But you see, Verstappen here is 2.3 seconds behind Russell, so Verstappen is not able to really keep up with the Mercedes, which is kind of crazy. That is on the hard tyres, though. And maybe the Verstappen strategy is to box early and get on the mediums. Sophia, why was Sainz on P3? Because they've reset the grid to the first lap. Make the map smaller, Ragavir. What do we think about that? I think I like. Normally we don't have the map this big though. But you know what? Hang on a second. We don't need all those things on the left-hand side, do we? We can do that. We can do that. Oh, hang on a second. I might be able to get your latest lap times here. Just bear with me. Bear with me on this. This is going to be. Oh god. This is going to be very difficult. This is going to be a test of my. I could break absolutely everything here. Okay. So. How about that, chat? Does that work? You got the latest lap time there. And you've also got the. Just had to try and do some wizardry for you. Let me know what you think about it. Rory, don't make the map smaller. I'm borderline 60 and my eyes are already taking a pasting. Right. I just try. It might not look particularly great at times, this, but I think it gives us most of the info that we actually really want. I think it's important to have that last lap information. Okay, is Verstappen still dropping off? Yes, he is, and it's still the top three. I mean, you can see basically on the look. So, is it a Hamilton train? So it's basically a Hamilton train. So what I would look for here is who in that Hamilton train. So anyone P8 and below, who is going to be like, you know what? I'd rather box early, pay for it at the end of the race for tire degradation, but get out of this traffic. Because have a look at the pace, because they're all going on Hamilton pace basically. Lucy saying Oscar does have damage. Well, he's driving very well, you know, if he does. And like I said, I don't think it's absolutely critical here with you've got floor damage at this circuit. But he's complaining about the aero balance. No one except Sargent. Oh, because they all changed. They all changed their tyres. Ah, okay. So is there a question of whether they're actually going to be able to make it to the end of the race. And why did Sargent not change his tyres? To Williams, do they not bring another set like they seem to do these days? Is Sainz second Piastri? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. You can see that top three there. I mean, look! Oh my god! Look at the gap here. The gap between Leclerc and Russell is kind of sensational. I would say it's a second a lap, and it's a good job Verstappen's not in that Hamilton train. So, are we going to see Tsunoda try and do a mad move on Hamilton? I don't know. There's points up for grabs there, by the way. There's decent points. Captain Skull, can Lando still win it? He definitely can, because this might open up an opportunity. Let's say that they can't get to the end. Like, you can't do 78 laps on the medium. If this front group of four builds up a gap to, let's say, Russell of like 20 seconds or whatever the pit stop is, they can then decide, you know what, I'm going to pit now. I'm going to do a big undercut. So this is opening up the opportunity for a big undercut. And then what we have at the front is we've got two Ferraris and two McLarens. So it could be real team strategy here. And Ferrari have definitely never messed up strategy at Monaco in recent years. Hamilton did 70 laps on mediums in 2019. Do we know if that was a similar compound though, in terms of the they always go for softest compound here, actually, don't they? So Piastri 19.9. Compare that with the Hamilton crew, who are basically 2 seconds a lap slower. So Piastri is now is gaining so within 10 laps he's going to build up that pit stop at this rate. Simon saying Norris will have Sainz. We're going to see is shaping up here to be quite an interesting one to win this Grand Prix. This is actually, for those of you that have been watching Formula One over the last couple of years, we haven't really had a race like this, actually, I would say, where the race win is genuinely going to come down to brilliance and strategy. Like, it feels crazy to say that, but is that not right? Like, this is the first race where we've got two teams, two drivers at the front battling, and who, if you've got a number one, number two driver, this is going to be easier. Because at Monaco, you can get one of your drivers to hold up everyone else. Ocon got a 10-second penalty, classic, 10 seconds for Ocon. Although I think it was basically fully deserved. Does anyone else agree with that? That this is a classic sort of like race that we've been starved of the last few years. Sema Yep can win this race with pit stops. Carlos said it will help Charles win today. So if you want to help Charles win today, then what you can do is kind of leave Carlos out long and hold people up. So keep an eye on the gap between that front group and Russell, then Verstappen, then Hamilton. Because the other thing is, right, even if you can get to the end on the tyres you're on now, will it actually be quicker to make a pit stop and get fresh rubber and you'll be able to drive faster? Because if that's the case, then someone like Leclerc, if you can do a pit stop and drop in, but then you have to overtake, this is a critical thing. This is where Ricciardo went terrible here. This is where Leclerc's gone terrible here. Rob's saying they don't have to, they don't, like, legally they don't need to, but practically would it actually be faster? Beanie still can't believe the first lap. Welcome, so I didn't see your name there, joining the stream. Welcome along. How K-Mag got nothing? I don't know. I reckon if you're Red Bull, you appeal that probably. Well, we're going to see. I don't think this is going to be a boring race. I think this is going to be an interesting race to see who's going to win this. And it's clearly not about overtaking, like on circuit. Like Piastri might well be faster than Leclerc here, and he clearly can't get the overtake done. But when is he going to pit? Or if he's not going to pit, what else can he do? So it's just a different style of race here, to be honest. Top four all on hard tyres, but Verstappen on the mediums. So that early safety car probably benefited drivers who were on the mediums starting the race because they could swap over to the hards and definitely go to the end. Whereas I'm not sure medium drivers are going to be able to get to the end. Leo says Forza Ferrari. Please tell me how many laps. If you look at the top left, there's a little clue there. Look at the gap from Russell to Max. Yeah, I mean, Russell is sort of dropping Verstappen here. Verstappen's got no answer. It could be the end of the Red Bull domination. It could have been Adrian Newey was sort of the glue, and all the stuff I was covering at the beginning of the season about Christian Horner and these allegations. Maybe it really has caused a big problem for them. Yeah, Isabel Plug's got it. Pauline Whitehouse saying, "Come on, Piastri." Are you related to Oscar Piastri? I can't remember. Stephen, Piastri gets really close to Leclerc. I mean, half a second is very close coming out of the tunnel. I've got the pictures here, so I'm keeping a little eye on it. But, you know, it could be the case that if Piastri does a bold move, and it looks like they're actually sort of gapping Sainz now. If Piastri does a bold move, he can put Leclerc in the position that Leclerc might be like, you know what, it's not worth me getting taken out. I'm just gonna, you know, I'll keep holding my P2 here. So I wonder if Piastri's really going to force it half a second behind. Obviously, McLaren are quite comfortable saying to him to push here. 0.3 seconds coming out of going up the hill. This is very close. It's just so difficult to overtake here. Sugar saying Piastri doing this with a damaged car. Do I think Magnussen would get a race ban? Well, they kind of. I mean, I think it was silly. I think Magnussen caused that, but I think Perez was looking in his mirror, so Perez could have also just given more space. But it might have been inevitable that crash was going to happen. By the way, let us know in the chat if you do spot any overtakes. Jerry, go Piastri, it's your time. He can smell the win. But now he's got Carlos Sainz all over him. Carlos Sainz is actually closer to him than he's closer to Leclerc. And 15 seconds now to Hamilton. So if someone does want to do a different strategy later in the race and go on soft tyres, but we've seen here before, I think it's what the issue Ricciardo had. They boxed him right onto, and he had to overtake, which is silly. Verstappen on the radio, why is Russell so slow? He's given the driver ahead a free pit stop. I can't quite work out the 5D chest there, but Max, there's a way to fix that. You just overtake him. Welcome, JJ. Good to see you. Saying, come on, Ferrari. Yeah, well, could be a Monegasque win here. We hope so, Ragavir. We hope so. But I've been speaking with rights holders behind the scenes, so we've got some good relationships now. What happened to Max? Well, he just qualified down there, and qualifying is everything here. Leo Russell is so slow. Is lying the safety car? Is lying the safety car? I don't know what that means. Russell trying to finish on mediums. Yeah, I mean, if you started this race on the hard tire, the red flag really completely flipped your strategy because you basically needed to go on the other tire. So we've got the Hamilton DRS train. It's 15.8 now from Leclerc to Hamilton. I just wonder if you're Ferrari, do you put Carlos Sainz on a completely different strategy? I don't think there's a real benefit there though. Because now we're kind of circulating and seeing is Logan Sargent going to put it in the barrier? Because all it's going to take is one of these drivers in that lower midfield pack. In fact, it looks like Alonso now. Yeah, Alonso has completely dropped off Lance Stroll. So a bit like 2022, we've got an Alonso train here. Lando could actually an overcut. Welcome Ade Gupta. Deegan Verstappen gets me paid if he wins. That's a strong bet you've taken there. Welcome Adnan AG. Welcome on board. If you are new here, please do feel free to subscribe. It would be great to have you as part of the family. It's completely free, and you won't regret it. Oscar closing the gap. Yeah, half a second again. Oh, what's Bottas? So Bottas has boxed here. So Bottas has boxed. That's interesting. That's interesting because maybe that means that you are going to need to box in this race if you're on the medium tyre. And rather than being in that train, Bottas is like, I'd rather box now and get in clear air. So have a look at the Bottas pace. Let's compare the Bottas pace now on fresh hards compared to, say, Ricciardo, Sargent, Guan Yu Zhou on the hards in the Alonso train. Because it might be in a couple of laps, Bottas is basically going to catch up with that group. So really keep an eye on that Bottas pace, I would say. Oh, I got cramp. Charles saying Checo needs all the luck he has to keep the Red Bull seat. I've cramped up here. I've stretched before I stream. Also, by the way, you're pronouncing Guan Yu Zhou's name wrong. I do apologise. D saying Oscar is scaring you for some reason. So Oscar is getting close coming out the tunnel, I can see. He's really putting the pressure on here. So yeah, like I said, keep an eye on that Bottas pace and the Bottas gap. Keep an eye on the Bottas gap. Rory Verstappen complaining Russell is too slow, but he can't even catch up to Russell. I'm trying to work out the 5D chess there, but I can't really. Isabel saying Leclerc back in the pack up now. Well, different strategies here. It's kind of dangerous though, because all it takes is for the driver behind to a mad send, and you're sort of like, do I want to have a crash or do I want to let them through? Podium prediction. Piastri looks really strong here. So I just wonder, like, do we need to have a pit stop? Do we need to have a pit stop? Because Valtteri Bottas was on the medium tyre, right? He's gone to the hards. Lewis has got away from the train right now. Yeah, you're right. Lewis has broken free of Tsunoda, so it's actually Tsunoda who's sort of leading that train. So Bottas's last lap was a 120 dead, which I don't know why the last three drivers had quick laps there, but that is quicker than, say, Albon and Gasly by, I mean, it's 2 seconds quicker than Gasly, 2 seconds quicker than Stroll. So within 10 laps, you basically get your pit stop back. I'm seeing some chatter about the Perez thing. I think it's a bit harsh. Science Charles is managing. Yeah, Carlos Sainz is worried. Oh, Bottas 1 minute 16.5. Hang on, what? Bottas 1 minute 16.5. Chat. That's why we put the where's my hands? That's why we put that there. 1 minute 16.5. Hello. That's gonna wake everybody up. That's gonna wake everybody up. So you don't want to be in that train then. You don't want to be in the train. Bottas is just on a mad one. I mean, Bottas is now only 7 seconds behind Guan Yu Zhou, and at that rate, 2 laps will be there. So that might change the dynamics a little bit. Bro was 3 seconds faster than Charles Leclerc, yeah. So Bottas is fastest man on track. So what does that mean then? What does that mean for the top four and then the gap they have? What does it mean? So the top four are getting to a point where they could box and come out ahead of the Tsunoda train. But the thing is, at Monaco, you might not be able to overtake anyone. Like track position is key. So Bottas has done this pit stop, but he might just run into the back of Guan Yu Zhou again and just be back to square one. Bottas eats all the other drivers' DRS. Yeah. Did he just do another 16.5 there as well? Has he just done another 16.5? So that's pretty consistent pace. Yeah, because now he's only 4 seconds behind Guan Yu Zhou. So the question is he going to have such a big pace advantage on fresh tyres that he'll be able to overtake somewhere? Or is it just, it's not about the tyres at all, it's just they're all packed up behind Alonso? 16.5 is crazy. Let's see now. Let's see what happens when Bottas hits the back of that pack. Meanwhile, Leclerc with 18.8. So Leclerc is stretching his legs a little bit. 13 Gun says it means everyone's going to come for a stop. Beanie says Leclerc cooking. Why the Chinese guy ain't saying the whole name Guan Yu Zhou? I don't know. That's just been the way I've been advised to say it. I mean, I did just say Valtteri Bottas as well. So his teammate. Is the Verstappen domination coming to an end? It could be. It could be here. I mean, it could have interesting championship permutations. This. All right, Verstappen looks like he's really caught up with Russell. By the way, yeah, Verstappen is now a second behind Russell. So are we going to see Verstappen try and do an overtake on Russell? Because if Verstappen can overtake Russell somehow, then he might be unleashed and try and cap the front pack. We'll have a look. We will see. So Bottas' last lap was a 17.8, so that was a second and a bit slower, but it was still about 4 seconds quicker than the cars ahead of him. But that's basically determined by the Alonso train. Bottas is goated. Piastri has just dropped Carlos Sainz a little bit, so Carlos Sainz can't quite live with that pace. I wonder if Lando Norris might take an interest if both McLarens are looking pretty good here. Hannah, I think this is a Ferrari, McLaren, Ferrari, what, in terms of a podium? How many laps left is at the top there? 58 laps left. Correct if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the preferred way of saying it is Zhou Guan Yu. I generally don't know, to be honest. Jay Teddy, I think Bottas will be able to pass. Well, let's see, because he's really arrived there now, and it's his teammate. So if there's ever going to be conducive conditions to get it done, you'd imagine this is going to be it. Welcome, Alpha S. V, hi again. I want to know. You know why I'm here. I want to know about Latifi, mate. Latifi's he's gone. He's not coming back to Formula One. That would be one of the greatest comebacks of all time. In China, the last name is pronounced first to the first name, like Verstappen Max. What's the gap to P1 to P1 to P2 is 1.4 seconds. But look at Lando Norris now. Seems to be all over Sainz. I'm barely looking at the live pictures because it's not really that relevant. It's more about the gaps and the strategy, isn't it? So, George Russell, you are 15.6 seconds behind Charles Leclerc. I just wonder, okay, so this is what I'm thinking. If you're Lando Norris, if you can get a gap to George Russell where you're able to box, he's not there yet, but let's say you get a gap where you can box and be ahead of George Russell, is it a no-brainer to do that? Okay, this is a big question. If the top 4 need to box, yeah, they're not going to get to the end. Let's say they need to because of the deg. It's not because that they've always done 2 tyre compounds. Let's say they need to. If you're Lando Norris, you could do a big undercut as long as you get out ahead of George Russell. There's no point doing it if you're going to be behind George Russell, unless somehow you back yourself to overtake. So that's what I'm thinking. What do we think about that? Because then what you can do as McLaren, you can say, right, Piastri, you just stay out. Like Piastri, you're going trap position, okay? Like you just stay out. Lando, we're going to try a different strat with you. We're going to basically keep your position, but we're going to put you on the tires that we know are going to have better deg at the end. Isabel saying James Fowles thinks you can make it to the end on hards. Is it a think? Was that like a we don't know? I mean, surely they will have really scoped out this possibility. They'll have been there with their machines to measure the track surface, just how it changes slightly year on year. Blank Max, what's happening to you? Why are you afraid to drive? Well, where is Max compared to Russell? He's dropped off a little bit, hasn't he? Maybe he's just biding his time. Maybe Verstappen thinks everyone else is going to pit, and Verstappen's playing some 5G chess. Maybe Verstappen's just going to go all the way. But isn't he on mediums though? Verstappen will be on mediums because he started on hards. So will Russell, so will Hamilton. It's his qualifying positions pretty much, I think, isn't it? I think it is pretty much. No, he said that if you can do good time management, you definitely can. Okay, so it was definitely possible. But Lucy's saying Sainz tyres look completely shredded. I'll have to have a look at an onboard. Rory, if we're being realistic, Max doesn't make it to podium. We don't know. And also, what happens if there's a safety car here? What if Valtteri Bottas really tries to overtake Guan Yu Zhou / Zhou Guan Yu and it doesn't doesn't come off. Bismarck, do you think Max can still win? Like I said, yeah, potentially. Still waiting on the first overtake. Well, what I'll say is, if you can get to the end here, this could now be the most boring race of the season. Because if no one boxes from here, it's just going to be so boring. So I almost wonder if you're Lando, you've got nothing to lose really because you're not on the podium. And if the pace differential, it's not massively different now. But if you get to a point where you can box and come out ahead of Russell in any situation, you do it because you then become the story of the race. You get more TV coverage. Your sponsors get seen more. You just try something different. So that's what I wonder. So that's why I feel like that gap between the front four and George Russell is so critical here. I feel like Bottas could just keep boxing and he'd just do the same thing. He'd be like 4 seconds a lap faster, catch up, he'd just box again. Could Bottas potentially put soft tyres on near the end and have a massive grip difference? Just imagine if Ferrari bottle this. I mean, all they got to do, if they can go to the end, is keep Leclerc out there. But I think someone said that Sainz's tyres didn't look so good. Lucy saying, I think Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton need to box. This is well, if Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton box, then Norris can box straight away without any danger. But if Russell boxes, does Verstappen try and go to the end? What's the gap between Hamilton and Tsunoda? Look how he's opened that up. I mean, Hamilton was leading the train, so it's 10 seconds now from Hamilton to Tsunoda, and about a second and a half quicker a lap. So, within 8 laps or so, he might have that gap. So you might see Hamilton. So that's actually a very practical one because if Hamilton needs to box again, then as soon as he opens up that gap, if he can do it, although his last lap was not great, was he? Let's see what happens when Tsunoda goes around. Tsunoda. Okay, it was still a second. So a second a lap quicker, albeit the gap is actually 9 seconds. So I need quite a bit more time there. Lucy, but if they box Norris, we'll need to box coming at him on fresh tyres is too risky. Rory says, to be honest, I just think everyone will end up boxing. I don't think we're taking it seriously enough that to do 78 laps on the hard tyre, you might, you might be really slow at the end and potentially vulnerable, and then you might lock up and you might hit the barrier and whatnot. So that's why I think the teams that can do a split strategy might do it. But with Carlos Sainz, you won't want to give up a podium here. So as Lando Norris, I see as a driver as little to news if he can come out on P4 and go back in P4. Welcome, Gordo. Good to have you. One to the 4 guys. I think it's in the pinned comments. It's in the pinned comments. Do you think Max will get on the podium? Well, he could if he goes to the end and everyone else boxes potentially, but the gap now between Leclerc and Verstappen is probably a pit stop or close to it. Kireth is saying real race between Ferrari and McLaren. And there's also the danger of a safety car. Look at Alex Albon sort of all over Tsunoda. It's interesting. There's not one big bottleneck there. You've got really Alonso is just not having a great time. He had his worst result in Formula One history last time around in Imola, and it's not looking great here. What a change a year makes. I mean, he's signed a contract extension, but maybe we'll just go to WEC team. Welcome to the real best military operator. Welcome to JS. Pauline, Piastri gone medium 6 lap. That's a prediction. Nissim, what's the most realistic place for an overtake? Probably coming out of the tunnel, perhaps, or into the first corner. Lucy, Alonso's radio says plan B +2. So he's on medium, so real box instead of +2 means they're going a little bit longer, right? So they are going to box. Verstappen, meanwhile, with an 18.8. That was his best lap so far of the race. Remember, Bottas has done a 16.4. So showing what's possible. But Bottas could do that because he had fresher tyres. Like, these drivers might be really managing the tyres. So they're really monitoring the tyre temps closely and driving very, very, very smoothly to... But look at Piastri opening up that gap to Carlos Sainz. It's now 3.2 seconds. 3.1 seconds is the gap there. And the gap from Leclerc to Hamilton is 25. So, yeah, I mean, the drivers that ironically started on the hards is completely flipped from them. They now are on the really suboptimal strategy. It's crazy how that can just happen, isn't it? Will we get a safety car as well? Is Logan Sargent still running? Yes, he is in P14. Ahead of both state cars. If the mediums don't need to box, it just makes a mockery, really, of them being medium tyres. So let's see. I don't know whether the hards can do 78 laps here. Maybe it depends at what pace you're running. So maybe part of the Piastri Leclerc battle is that Piastri is because maybe there's some 5D chess going on here. Because if you're Piastri, you probably want everyone at the front to have to do a pit stop. Because if you know that Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton have to do a pit stop, you're not worried about them because you're all doing another pit stop. So Piastri probably wants to force the top drivers to do another pit stop. So what McLaren want to do here, right? Because McLaren are P2 and P4, McLaren want to harass the Ferraris into driving, heating up the tyres, getting out the operating window, driving too fast, and having to make a pit stop. Because if they push Ferrari into that window, they can try and actually undercut them. they can pit before Ferrari do, having forced Ferrari to be in the position they need to pit. That would be like 8D chess from McLaren. What do we think about that? Still muted. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. So it's be interesting to look at the times between like Leclerc compared to, say, someone like a Tsunoda. Isabel, the track temperature is dropping right now. That's not good news if you're a McLaren fan. That's probably good news if you're a Ferrari fan. Shadow Bismarck, who can win it? Well, Charles Leclerc is really in the pound seats here. 100%. Tata Kireth trying everything to make Monaco not boring. Well, it's not. Monaco's it's either going to be boring or not boring. I'm not going to make money whether it's boring or not boring. I'm here just streaming whatever. So, but for me, I find this strategy interesting. But we stream every race. Like, we're just here like every race, just following it. So, listen, the most fun thing to happen at the Monaco race in the past few years is Vettel and Gasly battling out of the pits. Yeah, the infamous Lance Stroll moment. So the gap between Norris and Russell is now about 14 seconds. Although Norris was actually faster last lap. Need some Tuscan Raiders just taking pot shots. So what's going to happen then? Still, if we know that Russell, Verstappen, and Hamilton need to box, firstly, if they're on the mediums now and the hard tyre is just a better race tyre, they're probably just waiting for a safety car, right? So they're waiting for a safety car. But as soon as, let's say, Verstappen boxes, Russell will need to box to cover him off. And Hamilton, well, you assume Hamilton as well to cover off Verstappen, or like not get dropped too much, I don't know. But basically, if Verstappen boxes, Russell will need to box to cover him off. As soon as that happens, Lando Norris theoretically can box. And as we see with Valtteri Bottas, he'll probably catch up pretty soon. And it will have fresher tyres. So, and also, what would happen right now if there was a pit stop right now? Sorry, if there was a safety car right now, who would box in the top four? If there's a safety car right now and you're Lando Norris, do you box? At this point, Leclerc, yeah, in terms of championship standings, is this pretty good for Leclerc? Getting him closer. Might go for a fastest lap at the end as well. He's in clear air. Boring just had 3 and yeah, but that's such a long time ago. That massive crash and drama. Deadpool, I think it's going to tyre well. I think Norris has been better on his more consistency. Can he go to the end? Karen Merck and Max need to work together. Ooh, I don't think that's going to happen. He'll be 20 points off. That's pretty close, though. That's pretty close. That's great news for Formula One. Some of the later races where the championship won't be done and dusted. I mean, imagine like Vegas last year. The championship's already done. It's very embarrassing for them. Won't be long before the leaders run into traffic. That's a good point that I hadn't thought about. Leaders running into traffic. So, yes, Charles Leclerc and Valtteri Bottas. About 20 seconds to go. The gap behind Lewis is crazy now. Yeah, Albon's dropped off Tsunoda as well. It is mad how the gap's completely changed here at Monaco, isn't it? Verstappen subtly setting his fastest laps of the race. Will the Monaco curse end stay for Charles? Let's see. How long is the pit stop on Monaco? It's normally about 20 seconds at circuit, so we'll see here. I don't know the exact pit loss. Yolanda Norris just 1 centimetre off the wall. Was that an Amazon stat? Yeah, Piastri is still on the back of Charles Leclerc, and I wonder if they're pushing that pace. I wonder if they're pushing the pace there. Shire radio to Leclerc. Sainz is graining, so Sainz is struggling with the tyres, or he's got to get through that phase. Ragovic says Russell ruining Max's race. Yeah, it's interesting that he was annoyed at Russell for giving them a free pit stop. Like, does that show that he actually in some way thinks he's in the battle here for the win? But I just can't see it. Wouldn't mind Russell and Hamilton putting some pressure on Max. Well, Hamilton can put some pressure on Max potentially. Let's have a look at the lap times. He was 3/10 faster last time. Was Hamilton? So he is catching. He's not that far away. How come Verstappen's behind? He just qualified there. And if you've been following the season, we've seen sort of the decline of the dominance of Red Bull, which has been interesting. Not something I predicted, really. Can Hamilton pit stop and not lose places? Yes, I think he can. So this is great news for Hamilton now. Because as soon as Hamilton gets that gap to Tsunoda, right, which might be now or next lap, if you're Hamilton, do you go onto the hard tyres? Also, you want to get yourself completely clear. Like, I mean, Hamilton's just gone 3 seconds quicker, or two seconds quicker. So a few more laps, and you give yourself some margin on the pit stop and whatnot. You don't want Tsunoda all over you as you come out the pits. But if Hamilton does that, he's like, you know what? I'm not going to wait for a safety car. I'm going to do that, and then does that force people ahead? Well, he's got his teammate, which is interesting. But does it force Verstappen to pit to cover off an undercut? Yes, it does. And then can you leave Russell out there in case there's a safety car? So is that what you do if you're Mercedes? I don't know. Listen, if the race ends with the same position, so constructors will also be closed with the 24-point difference. Yeah, well, Sergio Perez not really helped his cause here. I don't think, well, irrespective of whether you think the incident was massively his fault or not, it's the fact he qualified down there. Didn't he do the same at Monaco last season as well? You end up in those sort of positions. Liam's saying, yeah, I'd box very soon if I was Hamilton. And yeah, good point here on the traffic. If you're the top drivers here, do any of them, we'll see how they get through the traffic here, through the Alonso train. Stephen, there's a hell of a lot of presumption they can pass with new tyres. Yeah, we haven't seen a single overtake here, I believe. So, Ragovic saying, Ricardo's washed. Lucy Sainz is debating a soft. Well, if you're Carlos Sainz, if you feel, yeah, you could try something different. I mean, Ideally, I think Carlos Sainz would just be in a position as that second driver in Ferrari there, just to go really long. Isabel saying graining for Sainz, abrasion for Lando on the front. Is Mac out? Who's Mac? J. Teddy Ricardo has the potential to pass Alonso. Yeah, he's only 3/10 behind. Thing is, the percentage chance of causing a safety car here if you try and overtake is really high. If Lewis boxes right now, I think he comes out ahead of Tsunoda. I'm not sure though. Tsunoda's just done his best lap time, as is Alex Albon behind, so maybe they're concerned about that. But Albon is putting a lot of pressure on Tsunoda now. Albon's only half a second behind. Yeah, Ricardo's really all over the back of Alonso. Hamilton doesn't box again. So we think, just to give some context, we think Hamilton, Verstappen, and Russell need to box. That's what we think. I should have had a coffee. I can make myself a tea, actually. Where do I think Sainz is going? Look, if he believes that, does he believe in the Audi project or the Williams project? By all accounts, that the negotiations have not gone smooth with Audi, which is surprising considering his dad's sort of history at Audi, connections at Audi. Oh, Sainz doesn't have a medium to change to. Because of the way they've done free practice and qualifying, Sainz only has a hard or a soft. But that's fine. Probably want to go in hard anyway. Probably the hard is the best race tyre here. So, you know, Bottas could have gone on potentially Bottas could have gone on other mediums, or they bought super early. Marilyn Hong saying traffic is a traffic warning coming out. How far from Leclerc to Bottas? Oh, it's only about 10 seconds now, isn't it? It's only about 10, 13 seconds. So we'll see what happens there. Again, Hamilton doesn't box. And the gap. Well, Hamilton had a really slow lap there. It's 20.6 from Hamilton. That's slow enough that potentially it could have been a mistake. Well, Tsunoda and Albon are now some of the fastest cars on track. Bottas won't get a point for that fast lap because he's not in the top 10. You need to be in the top 10 to get your fastest lap to count for a bonus point. Where do I think Ricciardo's going? Probably out of F1. I think the reason Liam Lawson is at so many of these races is to integrate him with the team. That's what I think. Welcome, JB Property. Welcome on board. Thank you for the subscription. Much appreciated. Yeah. Well, hang on. About 10 seconds now is the gap from Leclerc to Bottas. Just 10 seconds. Hamilton to Tsunoda gap is 21 seconds. So I'm not sure that is quite enough to get out. I'm looking on board with the Alonso train, and they are really nose to tail, those 5 cars. So it's going to be very difficult to pass here, actually, for Leclerc. Because they're all battling for position, and they're all not really too far. They're all sniffing around the points as well. It's not like it's a battle for P17 or something. So, fried chicken in Monaco is such a boring track. When you go through Portier or swimming pool, the lap is over. Well, it's quite a long way to get to swimming pool, isn't it? Guillermo doing an all-night just to watch from Cali. Welcome on board, Guillermo. Hope the weather is good in California. What's the Monaco curse? It's Charles Leclerc's Monaco curse. Vettel to Audi. Well, Vettel's been heavily involved in F1 this season, hasn't he? He was driving the McLaren at Imola last week. You overtake, you crash. Yeah, we've seen Magnussen try and do that. Yeah, what's Liam Lawson racing in? Is he racing in? He's doing Super Formula last year. Why did they put him in a WEC entry as well? Lucy, 16-second gap from Norris to Russell now. Yep, very good spot. Very good spot. Although, yeah, Norris was fastest driver on track last lap. Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton. Any boxing there for Hamilton? Any boxing for Hamilton? No, no boxing for Hamilton. And Russell does his best lap of the race. The Hamilton gap to Tsunoda is now 22 seconds, isn't it? How many laps do the mediums last? I don't think they'll go to the end of the race. Put it like that. Chai, it's a frustrating race, I imagine, for the drivers not being able to overtake you know faster. Yeah, 100%. 100%. But then comes down to qualifying, doesn't it? Verstappen can basically be on the podium now. I'm not sure where you get. I don't know where you get that from. That you think Verstappen can be on the podium. It's midnight in Sydney. Wow. Do the drivers need to pit? Yeah, I think them. I'd say the Eden drivers probably do, but let's see. Snowland, maybe it's a protest drive. Just going around in protest. Well, next thing to look out for, I think, is going to be Leclerc smashing into the back of that Alonso train. It's very close now. Isabel saying projections for mediums were about 40 to 45 laps. Yeah, but that's sort of a projection based on like ideal crossover, whereas here you go, as long as you're not going to get a puncture or crash, you can just keep your car really wide up to a point. I don't know if anyone remembers the last time that there was a car that went out so long on tyres. They were just so slow at Monaco that they were overtaken. There must be an example. Lucy Leclerc getting told to drive slower. So Russell's gap doesn't get to 20 seconds. Leclerc getting told to drive slower to Russell's gap. Interesting. I see what you're saying here. So maybe Leclerc will really pick his time to get through the traffic because you don't want to zoom through and get that. This is an opportunity to minimize the gap to Russell now hitting this traffic. Do you think Sainz will sign with Williams? I'm hearing rumours that he's really looking at it seriously. Yeah, 39 laps to go, everyone. Just about halfway through the race. So, has Leclerc overtaken Bottas there? Where's Bottas? Yeah, Bottas has been lapped. So Bottas decided to drop off there, didn't he, clearly? Piastri on the radio. He really doesn't seem to be slowing down. So he must be worried about something else. Otherwise, I feel like he'd just be slowing down. So maybe Piastri doesn't feel like he's being slowed down enough. Maybe that's why Ferrari's saying, hey, come on, Charles, you need to slow down a bit. I'll try and see if I can see the picture of Bottas pulling over. Welcome, Bruce Dane. Let's see what happened here. So Bottas, oh yeah, Bottas completely pulled over on the start-finish straight. And that really helped out Leclerc, by the way. I think Leclerc will have got a bit of a gap there to Piastri as he has. So I can't see all of them doing that though. Well, Guan Yu Zhou's pulled over, so maybe they are going to go one by one. Welcome, Lewis Hamilton. Good to see you. You're not busy at the moment. Yeah, it depends whether you really buy into the Williams project and you think it's going to be like a Hamilton to Mercedes move back in the day. Welcome, Markify. George Russell, fastest driver on circuit last round, 18.1. When does the race finish? In 37 laps time. Unless something dramatic happens. Hamilton to Snowder gap is surely close enough now if he wants to pit. Lewis Hamilton, can you let us know in the chat what you're thinking here? What are your strategy options? Maybe Piastri should just drive faster. Well, I think Piastri's going to get... He's going to have to deal with the traffic here harder than Charles Leclerc because they're going to get out of the way for Charles first. And then it's going to be more complicated. Luce says, racing, sorry, not racist. Easy mistake to make. Yeah, goodness me. I just saw Guan Yu Zhou or Zhou Guan Yu pull out before Anthony Nogues at the end of the lap for Piastri, and that really hurt Carlos Sainz. So traffic is not going to be easy. But now Leclerc has lapped Fernando Alonso, and it's going to be another 17 seconds or so to Lance Stroll. So that traffic has been navigated now. And I think that has brought down the gap to George Russell, I believe. So we'll see how quickly Piastri can catch up with Charles Leclerc. Maybe Piastri still trying to get past Alonso. I'm looking on board with Carlos Sainz. Oh my goodness me, basically kissing the barriers on the exit of the triple chicane. Great view you get there. If you lean over the grandstand, you can see just how close they are. Golding, seeing Sainz drive for Williams would be such a nice all, but I understand he'd be willing to do that. You never know, that team, they want to go places, so he will go to Red Bull. It depends. I feel like they're just going to sign Perez again. I feel like they just want that consistency. I feel like they really feel like probably their best strategy is to push completely behind Max. So you just keep Perez there. He knows does he know what he's doing? I don't know. That's my hunch. They want to have that stability there and really focus on Max. Leclerc pulling away, I think it's due to the traffic, but we'll see. Snowline, arguably this parade doesn't even begin to qualify as a race. If there are no overtaking, is it actually a race? It's a very good point. Lance Stroll in the pits now. Why is Lance Stroll in the pits? Why is Lance Stroll boxed? So that's interesting. Was Stroll someone on the medium tyres? Was he part of the medium crew? What are my thoughts on Hamilton going to Ferrari? If you see, I do it with Sam, but I have a motorsport channel as well where we do the F1 breaking news show. We've done someone here as well, so we talked a lot about Hamilton. I think it's a interesting one. I'm not sure it's going to be a match made in heaven. You think how different it would be at Ferrari if they had Leclerc and Sainz on long-term contracts now? You just think the team's working really well, but they decided to shake it up before the season started. Yeah, so Stroll came in. Oh, was it softs? No. Hard tyres then. So came off mediums onto hards. So that's one of the first medium runners to come off and box and then go onto hards. Alex sad to see Lewis fall off the curve. We'll see what happens when he goes to Ferrari. But it was almost weird saying that, to correct myself. Leclerc now turning the screw a little bit. So maybe Leclerc is changing strategy from holding up Piastri. Maybe he's had a lot of pace in his pocket to burn. When will Kick Sauber earn their first point? Not today, I suspect. Maybe benching Ocon for Canada. What, in Alpine? Who are they going to put there? Mick Schumacher? Stroll stopping for a Tim Hortons. Norris on the radio. How's my front left looking compared to them? Of the four of you, you're the best. So McLaren think that Norris has the best tyres out of the top four. Why is Pierre Gasly is now the next driver to be lapped here? So we are going to see Leclerc lap into the points. Does anyone box yet? Yep. Lance Stroll has boxed. Valtteri Bottas has boxed. They are actually the only two drivers to box. No one else has actually boxed. They changed tyres under the red flag. There's only been 2 pit stops in this race. Yeah, Doohan is their reserve. They got Kushmani as well in Alpine, who I interviewed. But the interview just didn't do very well. Both of my interviews with Zane Maloney and Kushmani. So if you want to see interviews with F2 drivers from the season, they're on my channel. Do go check them out if you want to see that, because they're sort of different content to what I normally do. So basically, they don't really get pushed by YouTube because most of my viewers don't really want to see them. So that's just how the algorithm works. It makes sense, to be honest. So. Charles, shout out watching from Philippines. Hello, Charles. Listen, would you rather fight one Super GT sized chicken or 20 chicken sized Super GTs? I think a Super GT sized chicken would be terrifying because claws on the beak and everything. So I go for the 20 chicken sized Super GTs because they're like cars. I just go upstairs or something. Take the high ground. Would I pick Lewis or George first? I pick Lewis first. Then he falls Verstappen into the undercut, and then you can keep Russell out there. I guess you could do it either which way, I suppose. Might depend on who has the best tyres. You kind of like ISOT. I don't know who ISOT is. What's ISOT? I just had the Mercs making the mediums last. I'm getting deja vu from Hamilton's 2019 minical medium drama. So the Mohawk is the best. Who's the Mohawk? Yeah, I don't have the background car noise here on this laptop. We can bring it next time. Welcome Tracy, Larry, Anu, Markify as well. Markify, you just got to keep the subscription, man. You don't need you can keep it on. It's okay. So Leclerc now. So 2.2. So I think Piastri's been eating back into it, and Norris is going to be all over Carlos Sainz having a look here. Yes, he is. But again, you just can't overtake. This is not a good advert for Monaco. I'm going to be honest. Like, I like going to see the Monaco Grand Prix. Like, as a fan experience, I think it's really good. Remember, if you go as a fan to a race circuit, you're going to sit at one corner anyway. So the chance of you seeing an overtake generally are quite slim, unless you go on the home screen, just DRS. So from a fan experience, I think it's really good. It's really cheap to go to. Actually, people don't think it is, but it is. You get really close to the cars and everything. You can go in the paddock and whatnot. But this is a really bad advert for Monaco in Formula One, unfortunately, which is a shame because a Formula E race was very exciting here. They can't widen the roads, but they can. They could try and come up with smaller cars just for Monaco potentially. But it is a real problem. And a couple of years ago, if you remember, there was real noise about Monaco not being kept on the calendar. They were going to drop it off. And that would probably be a real advantage to Formula E, to be honest. Shay's watching from the Ukraine. Welcome along. Planet 35 seconds between Hamilton and Snowden. What's strategy behind not boxing? They're just waiting for a safety car, I think. But honestly, I would probably, or maybe they'd want to have so few laps left at the end they can just really use tyres. What do we think, chat? Would you box Hamilton right now? Waiting for softs could be an interesting one. But didn't that happen? Wasn't it Ricciardo got boxed for softs? I think I was there. I think I was at Monaco. They boxed Ricciardo for softs, and Hamilton just stayed out on like really old tyres, and they couldn't get past him. I seem to remember that. Lou says yes, box Hamilton. Yeah, or just do go-karts. Yeah, do like F1 go-karts. Honestly, stranger things have happened. You look at what they do in IndyCar. IndyCar, I don't understand IndyCar. Like, they do mad stuff. Like, this thermal thing and everything. And, they're not afraid to do it in the States. Races, I think I would. You need to be a bit more... You need to commit one way or the other there. Paul, this is by far the most boring track and race ever in history. Snowline says Georgina just wanted to hit a match. I don't know who Georgina is. That Norris to Russell gap is not really seem to be generally increasing, even though Norris did just go a second a lap quicker. Lewis Hamilton 117.8. Was that the fastest lap? Last lap? Yes, it was. So Hamilton just did the fast lap. Could that be indicative of him getting ready to box now, potentially? I mean, the gap to Tsunoda has really opened up, hasn't it? Russell Verstappen, Hamilton spots now going to softs. I'm not sure you can get to the end of softs here. And also, you're going to be so far behind, you're not going to catch the front pack, I think. Unless you can box now and just go and do like 1 minute 14s, 15s. What was the pole time? I don't remember what the pole time was here. Singapore was a better version of Monaco. I think Singapore was last year Singapore was a very exciting race. Jean-Marie Marielle says, let's go, Carlos. Well, Carlos is under pressure here from Lando. Lewis slowed down. I don't think he did. I think Lewis 117.8. What's he going to do this time as well? He's really catching Verstappen now, actually, isn't he? Yeah, he hasn't slowed. He's the opposite of slowing down. He's just on his personal best of the race, and he's the fastest man on track. 1 minute 10. So maybe they could lap and do 1 minute 13s or whatnot on race pace, on soft tyres. Rude said Russell, Verstappen, and Lewis only have scrub softs left, pit window lap 50 plus. So Rude Van Loon saying we've got a few more laps to go before we're going to be in the window for the scrubbed softs. Chai, gap to Russell is so big there's a free pit stop. Well, not quite for the leaders. Not quite for the leaders. Norris hasn't been able to get that free pit stop. I wonder if Carlos Sainz is holding up Norris. I just wonder if there's a lot of... Oh, Norris is very close here, surely. Oh, damage. What's that? There's a wheel in the pit lane. Did a wheel come off in the pit lane? Had Lance Stroll lost a wheel? Lance Stroll just come out of the pits on soft tyres. So he's pitted again, but there was a wheel in the pit lane. Did it come off on the pit entry? What's happened there? Isabel saying Sainz can be told to back up Norris. Yeah, there's a tyre on the pit lane exit. So it's not on the racing line, but it's on the pit line. Obviously, a marshal will need to go, and if there's a gap, you can see here there are big gaps, so they can do that. He had a flat. Okay, so he has gone onto the soft. So what I would say is now is keep an eye on the Lance Stroll pace. So Lance Stroll is 11 seconds behind Bottas. So keep an eye on the Lance Stroll. What's Lance Stroll going to do on the softs? As Daniel Ricciardo is trying to get past Fernando Alonso. Puncture from Stroll. Yeah. Rory Lewis closing to Max. So if Lewis pits, he'll be able to undercut even if Max pits next lap. So yeah, he'll be within the sort of undefendable undercut range. That's a very good point. So it might be Hamilton is getting ready to pit, basically. So if you're Verstappen, should you pit now then? If you're Verstappen, should you pit while you have that margin? Because Hamilton is trying to, it's a bit like chess here. Hamilton's trying to get into a checkmate position with Verstappen. It's very interesting. There we go, Hamilton boxes. So Hamilton boxes now. Is he going to go onto his scrub softs? And if so, on his out lap, is he going to be so much faster that he's going to overtake Verstappen? It's going to be critical. I just missed a replay of Stroll's tyre coming off. It's a weird one. Okay, so here we go. Mercedes strategist, yeah, we're live in Brackley. Hello to everyone. So Hamilton comes out. I'll have to keep an eye on what the time was. You're probably going to see a very fast. Well, Verstappen can only go so fast because he's got Russell. So if you're Russell here, do you hold up Verstappen? Here we go. JS likes it. Rory called it. He would have the pace, but will he have the space? Well, all the time you have to leave with a space. Right, I'm going to see here. Hamilton come in. Okay, the director hasn't cut to it. Looked like a decent stop. 2.5. 2.5 second stop. That might be critical. That half a second. So we'll see what Red Bull can do here. Is Russell holding up Verstappen? I think so, because only 3/10. So we'll keep an eye. Surely Verstappen's going to box now. Yes, he has. So let's see if Russell does a slower lap this time around. Is it going to be a 1:19 or so? Yellow flags out. Yellow flags out. Yellow flags out. 18.6 green flag. Don't know what that was. Okay, so Verstappen. Keep an eye on Verstappen here. So Verstappen did at 18.1. Oh, it looks like it's going to be easy for Verstappen. Looks like it's going to be easy for Verstappen here. So the undercut for Hamilton, I don't think will have worked. So Hamilton did a 1:19, but that was an out lap, so it's not really indicative. You don't know where the timing started there. And also, he went onto the hard tyre. So he didn't go onto the soft tyre. So Hamilton and Verstappen have gone to hards. Lance Stroll, like I said, keep an eye on that time. It's on a 1:16.9. So Stroll did a 16.9 on the softs. Stroll clipped the barriers out the tunnel into the chicane on the left-hand side. So that's why he was lucky to get to the end of that. Could have been a safety car, to be honest. It was a 2.1 stop for Verstappen. So there's about half a second there, roughly. But there was one. So yeah, it wouldn't have made a difference in the end, I think. I think Hamilton's outlap probably just wasn't good enough. How many seconds is Charles ahead right now? 1.5 seconds he's ahead. Tracy Leo 806 sun emoji. And some drivers setting their personal best laps of the race, Leclerc, Piastri and Norris as well. Paul says McLaren safety car, Snowline, great stop for Verstappen. So Hamilton now with his fast lap of 16.4 on the hards. But yeah, the undercut. So maybe he should have got a bit closer. I don't know. I'm on board here with a stake. Oh, was there an overtake here? Yes, there was. A stake car on a Williams. That must have been Bottas on Sargent. There has been an overtake, everyone. Can we get some claps out in chat for the overtake? That's the first overtake of the race. I'm going to get a 10 out of 10 emoji and a pog emoji First overtake of the race, everyone. They said you can't overtake at Monaco, but Valtteri Bottas didn't care about that. There we go. Look at this support here. Valtteri Bottas on Sargent. Big overtake. Huge. You love to see it. People are going to come in the stream like, what on earth has happened here at Monaco? Best racetrack ever. Okay, Hamilton 16.4. What's Verstappen? Yep. Let's see what Verstappen does this lap as well. So Hamilton tried to force. Hamilton kind of had nothing to lose there. I guess the question is Russell now really going to get undercut? Should Russell just have boxed at the same time as Verstappen? Because Verstappen's just on a 15.8. So Verstappen's going 2.5 seconds quicker than Russell. So have Mercedes messed up for Russell here? Vamos Chilis, yeah, Bottas goated. It's a moment in history. It's one of the overtakes of all time. No DRS involved. He doesn't need DRS. These gimmicks. A momentous occasion. Look how close Norris is to Sainz. Raskas, maybe? Lando Norris, 2/10 behind Carlos Sainz. So Lando Norris, is he going to go Saint Devot? Is he going to go around the outside as a Saint Devot? No, I think he's too far behind now. But Lando's forcing the issue, or Carlos Sainz is really trying to bat Lando now. Because Lando's getting close, probably to getting that free pit stop, isn't he? Why did George not pit? I don't know why they didn't pit George at the same time. I don't know why they didn't pit George there. It's a bit of a weird one. Haven't they just given that position up? Like, unless they think George can get to the end. But this is going to be interesting now, okay? Because Verstappen is going 2 seconds a lap quicker than Russell, and he's 10 seconds behind. So literally in 5 laps at that rate, Verstappen's going to catch Russell and have 2 seconds laps quicker tires. So then we'll see if your tires are 2 seconds lap quicker, can you overtake? We've just seen Bottas overtake Logan Sargent. Who else is on the mediums? Pierre Gasly, Fernando Alonso, and George Russell are the only medium tyre drivers left right now. So we'll have to see whether they have to box soon. Dominic says Mercedes pulled a Ferrari level strategy there. I'm looking at an onboard here with Lando. Remember, he got really close to Carlos Sainz. Oh my goodness. Almost brake check by Carlos coming out of the swimming pool. But you just can't do anything at Monaco. Thing is about Monaco is that if they brought this track in now, it would just get rubbished. Like, let's say they brought in like Miami was like this, and there were no overtakes. It wouldn't be kept on the calendar. But there is something different about Monaco. It's just part of Formula One for me. Yeah, Lando again, all over Carlos Sainz. So is Carlos Sainz really backing up Lando Norris here? Dangerous times. Welcome, Y Gang Thuo. Good to have you on board. What's Lucy said? It's the Cardigans. Right, Hamilton 14.4. So Hamilton 14.4 here. And Leclerc has lapped all the way up to P7. I don't think he's going to lap Hamilton. That'll be the lapping done for the race, but all the way up to all the way up to P8 has been lapped there. Yeah, Hamilton 1 minute 14.4. That's a big lap. If he'd been able to do a lap like that on the out lap, maybe it would have been different. So that is a clear 3 seconds a lap quicker than drivers ahead. That is not good news if you're George Russell. If your name's George Russell, that's pretty bad news. Is George Russell forced now to go to the end? Golden says Science is cooking. Isabel, who's our driver of the day? Welcome, Size X as well. But I think, yeah, honestly, doesn't Bottas have to be driver of the day? I'm not even joking. He's the only driver to have done an overtake. Doesn't it have to be Valtteri Bottas? You cannot give it to anyone else. Am I right or am I wrong? I could be wrong. Still 21 laps to go. I think it's. I'm giving at the moment. I'm giving it to Bottas. Chai says Russell will have to drive until the end if he doesn't want to lose to Verstappen. Yeah. Is it close between Lando and Sainz? Oh, overtake here. Lance Stroll on the stake in the tunnel. Hang on. Hold on to your votes. Lance Stroll overtake in the tunnel on a stake. Was that on Guan Yu? Who was that on? And then he's overtaken Guan Yu Zhou and then he's overtaken Logan Sargent. Lance Stroll on the soft tyre is actually overtaking in Monaco. Did he do an undercut? Oh, we did an undercut on Sargent at Saint Devote. No, we're cancelling the vote. Cancelling the vote. In fact, you know what? We're going to do it now. I'm going to put it up. When's the last time we did a poll? Driver of the day. I'm going to put Stroll. I'm going to put Bottas. Okay. I'm going to put Leclerc. I'm going to put, I guess, Piastri. Okay. Let me know. That was a big overtake from Stroll. I'll remove the old pinned comment. Right. Feel free to vote. 88 votes already. While you're voting, feel free to hit the subscribe button as well. It's free. You won't regret it. It massively helps me out if you enjoy the streams. K-Mag, get out of here. Get out of the stream. Piastri deserves it. So, on soft... So, yeah. Unless... Does George Russell have a set of softs? Because is George Russell going to go on the softs then? Science on the radio. If Lando puts new mediums on... I don't know. Don't know why he's worried about new mediums. That size X. Yeah, we keep the poll up, though. We do what we want here. There's no rules. We make the rules. Why can I vote for Ricciardo? There's only 4 options. Hamilton with another 14.2, but he's so far behind Verstappen now. Hamilton must be going really hot and cold. Or did he make it? How's Hamilton ended up so far behind Verstappen? I don't understand. But Verstappen and Russell on the move. And, right, this could be exciting. Verstappen is about to catch George Russell, and it looks like he's 2 seconds a lap quicker. So let's see what happens here when Verstappen catches George Russell. Great to have you all on the stream, by the way. It's a lot of fun. I'm doing this on the road. Just means I can do this anywhere in the world. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's good to have this setup and do it. No stress. Might just do it more. Might always do it on the setup, actually. Is Ferrari a better car than Mercedes? I'd say right now, generally. Big gap at the front between Leclerc and Piastri, it seems, is starting to appear. Michael, the top 4 better pit now or get undercut. Well, there's only 18 laps to go. Verstappen on the radio, mate. Battery. No one is watching it again. Verstappen's not happy about. I think his battery probably ran out. It's happened to all of us. Do a battery swap. Safety car imminent. What, with the Max overtake? Safety car now. If there's a safety car now, I think if you Lando Norris, you box. If Verstappen gets past George Russell, oh my goodness, they're close now. I'll have a look on board of this. If Verstappen gets past George Russell, is Lando Norris at risk? Is Lando at risk? Russell in trouble. George Russell sweating all over the track. Ragavir signs to pit now. J Mercedes. Honestly, the first lap was so carnage. Yeah. It's just a banter lap, really. It's like proper F2. So I think Verstappen just needed to deal with a lap car there. So look at the gap between Verstappen and Russell. It is a second now. And this is one of the biggest tyre differentials I think we've seen. Are we hard or soft for Charles? We're definitely Charles on hard tyres. Jean says Carlos faster. Right. Verstappen on Russell. What's the gap? It's a pretty big gap. I'm going to have a look here at the live pictures. Lucy, this is what I said about the free Norris pit. Should have taken it. I'm not sure. No, Norris never had a free pit stop. Norris never had enough of a gap for a free one. Shane's at Monaco. Very nice. Right. Let's see what's going to happen here. Verstappen potentially in the tunnel. Has Verstappen still got it? Has he still got it? Piastri closing. Not really, I would say. Welcome, Kurt, Kelvin, and Bill Long as well. Good to have you on board. Verstappen. No, still half a second. He is close, though. He is menacing. Can Russell hold Verstappen? This is a question we're all asking ourselves right now. Is there going to be contact? Is it going to be one where they're not going to be friends? Russell, where's Verstappen? Oh, he's so close, I couldn't see him. So maybe that's why he was annoyed about his battery, because he wanted to save his battery for a big push here. Half a second still. This could be good news for Hamilton, because Hamilton can still do 14, so he'll catch this pack. If Verstappen gets past Russell and Hamilton is up at the back of Russell, surely Russell is going to be massively irritated. I guess it's what it is. Vinton, you know when I'm going to pin a comment. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Means a lot. Thank you. Curse incoming. Well, we'll see. I don't think any of the top drivers need to box. The top 4 drivers need to box. Verstappen still hasn't been able to do it. 16 laps to go. Potential change onto the soft tire. I wonder if there's someone in the lower midfield that we can't really see now. He might have a sort of like no risk change onto the softs. If Verstappen gets past Russell, will box. Yeah, but he'll be annoyed at losing that position to Hamilton, won't he? But Lucy Russell needs to defend like crazy here. Keep him behind you, lad. Let's see. Hamilton almost in the 1:13s. It is hammer time. Feel free to get your hammers out in the chat here, because Lewis Hamilton is going to join this party, and I don't know what effect it's going to have, to be honest. Is it just going to annoy Verstappen, having Hamilton behind him? They obviously clashed in free practice at Imola. Chai's got the hammer out. There we go. Oh, some hammers coming out. Leclerc just chilling right now. He is just chilling, isn't he? But they're chilling almost 3 seconds a lap slower than Lewis Hamilton on hammer time. What if Hamilton arrives at the party and just overtakes both of them? Let's see. Or what if he overtakes Verstappen and and crashes with Russell? They're still dealing with lap cars, I believe. Oh, Verstappen was so close to Russell going into Casino there. I think Verstappen needs to do like a Bottas level overtake. You just throw up the inside and you force the other car to not turn in. Verstappen Russell gap. Less than a second still. Ooh, you just can't overtake at Monaco. And Piastri has caught Leclerc, right? 1.6 now, Piastri and Leclerc. Looks pretty clear now the top 4 are going to go to the end. But maybe someone's going to struggle. Keep an eye on I'll let you know if I see any lockups and whatnot. Let's go, Carlos. Let's go, Carlos, indeed. Oh, look at the hammers coming out now. It's like being at West Ham again. They're using old school boards. Ragovi, if Max passes Russell Norris in danger. Gerard, Red Bull can't use the curbs. That's going to be tricky to overtake then. So no one wants to pit in the top 4. Yeah, that is true. You don't want to pit in the top 4. Although, if Verstappen is going to really cause a lot of pain for Russell, it might slow them all down. And then Norris might get a free pit stop, and Norris might think, well, you know what, I may as well go on the softs. But I don't think that's happening right now, because in fact, Norris at a 15.6. So Norris on ancient mediums is driving really quickly here. Lando might make a move here. Maybe Lando's not quite. I think he's not quite there. I hope they don't do something silly at Monaco where they're like, oh, if you're within a second for 3 laps, the car ahead has to let you through. You have to go through like a slow zone or something. I can see them doing something silly like that, to be honest. Like you just cut the swimming pool if you're within a second or something. I don't know. Sounds like what they would do. Norris and hards. Yeah, all the top 4 on hard tyres. But Russell showing that medium still has some life. Snowden on the radio. We have a marginal strategy. You can push more now. Yeah, Snowden quietly having a decent race here, going to get some points. I'm not sure I've seen any karting rules like that I'm aware of, but Russell should have pitted. If Russell had pitted, ironically, that would have been great news for Lando. So the fact that Hamilton and Verstappen pitted and Russell didn't was really bad news for it. Just closed a strategy door for Lando. That might not have made any difference, but it would have been exciting to see Norris now behind Sainz on softs or something. Fan boost. Yeah, fan boost no longer exists, actually. Get Hackett, new sub here. Thanks to the stream. Can keep track while I'm out of the house. Hope you're having fun out of the house today. Hope everything is going well. Joe Mercedes Leclerc is. Oh, thank you for the €10, Andreas. Joe Leclerc is finally get his race win and the curse has been broken. Not quite yet. Thank you so much, Andreas, for the €10 sticker. Thank you so much. I can't like it for some reason. But can we get our claps out for Andreas, who's just donated €10 with a sticker? Thank you so much. I'm going to give you a 10 out of 10 there. Really appreciate it. You don't need to do it, but it means an awful lot. Really helps me to be able to do this sort of stuff, actually, to be honest. So thank you so much. Please do get your claps out in the chat there. For Andreas with the level up. Andreas has leveled up there. See people spamming the love hearts as well. There we go. That's how we do in this community. That's what it's all about. And also what it would be great to be all about is for someone to do an overtake here in the top 4. Is it going to happen? Verstappen, I think Verstappen here, you know, if you have no, you don't. If you're Hamilton now, there's no point, is there? But at some point, presumably, you could have gone on the softs as well, just to try it. Do you think there will be a title fight this season? I think there could be. And honestly, that Verstappen-Russell battle could be critical for the championship. That's why they're really going for it. Who do you think is the fastest F1 driver on the grid? I don't know. Obviously, before the easy answer was Verstappen, but now it's not as clear cut, is it? Benno, ideally another 15.2 for Hamilton. They should be right in the to overtake. Let's see. Hamilton 16.1, but it's inevitable, I think, that he's going to be catching them. He's on the same pace right now and only a couple of seconds behind. Sargent hit the wall again. Red flag alert warning. Sargent has hit the wall again. Maybe he wants to do a Latifi. Did Sainz just pit? Nope, he did not. That would be huge if Sainz pit. I'd be very disappointed in myself if I missed Sainz pitting. I'm on board here with Logan Sargent. He's following the stake. Oh, he just clipped the inside on the swimming pool like we saw Charles Leclerc do a few years ago in qualifying, didn't we? So it's just a graze. In fact, it's pretty incredible driving, but you can do that and break your front right suspension, go straight into one side and cause an inevitable safety car. And if there was a safety car now, I think you see Lando Norris definitely box onto softs, even scrubbed. But I don't think it would make too much difference. I don't think you see Leclerc box, Piastri box, or Sainz box. And I don't think you see Norris overtake anyway. I'm pretty sure when I was in Monaco in 2018 or something, this is exactly what happens. Yeah, why has Piastri dropped off so much? Chat, is there issues for Piastri here? 4.2 seconds off. He's a 17.3. Was it just a mistake or does he have damage? See, Leclerc is winning driver of the day. What's going on with Oscar Piastri here? 8/10 gap now to Carlos Sainz. Thank you, Ragavir. Member for 4 months. Forza Ferrari. We'll see. It might be time now, but I'm just interested on Piastri Sainz 7/10 gap now. What has happened here? 6/10 gap now. The gap is coming down. Cooked his tyres. Losing power possibly. This could be very bad news for Piastri. He's starting to have quite a bit of bad luck in Formula 1. But honestly, I think one of the most likable drivers, Oscar Piastri, just goes about his business. Piastri 7/10 gap, so maybe it was a mistake, but he's going to have Carlos Sainz all over him. Oh, they had to deal with traffic. They just had to deal with traffic there. How have they? Are they 2 laps down? Sargent and Guan Yu Zhou are battling. They're 2 laps down. They're 2 laps down. Or Zhou Guan Yu. So, well, could be a Ferrari 1-2. Wally, this is the best race I've watched for years. F1's also so exciting. Wally, if this is the best race you've watched, I can tell you things are going to get even better. Tracy found it on cable, very nice. Oh, now 4/10 gap. Hello, maybe there is a bit of an issue here. There was definitely dealing with traffic, but maybe that's just allowed Sainz in, or Piastri needed to go offline or something. Or maybe Sainz is going to do a big. Maybe Sainz feels like he doesn't really have a lot to lose here, or much to lose. Verstappen, by the way, is still chasing George Russell. There's 8 laps to go. Piastri 5D chess. Matt knows. See more. First Williams points. So Williams not getting any points this season. Would be great to see Williams get some points. Oh, Kaylee, thank you so much for the £5. That's your first ever super chat, it tells me on live stream. Thank you so much, Kaylee, for the £5. Good job. I really appreciate it. Again, please, can we get our claps out in chat for Kaylee? That's how we do as a community here. Thank you so much. There's no need to donate, do a super chat, but I really appreciate it. This all goes back into this channel. So thank you so much. It makes it possible. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Oh, here come all the claps. That's how we do in the community. That is how we do. Still about half a second from Piastri to Carlos Sainz. So going to go through the tunnel. Look how long the tunnel is, by the way. I have walked that whole tunnel. It doesn't feel that long when you walk it. Monaco is such a small circuit. It's a ridiculously small circuit when you think about it. Like, having walked it quite a few times, it's just small. It's not like Baku or somewhere you go a long way. It's really small. Oh, by the way, yeah, newsletter comes out weekly as well. So if you're new here, you want to get the Sim Race newsletter, go to sim.doctor or go to getfasteronline.com. If you want to get that, welcome Soviet as well. So 6 laps to go, and Piastri, is he cooked? Is he washed? I don't know, but surely Leclerc. If Leclerc doesn't win this from here, it's going to be an absolute tragedy, a real tragedy. By the way, I think Logan Sargent might be just chilling with this group at the front. I think Logan Sargent is like on the back of Lando Norris. I think that's how it's working. Benno says Hamilton bringing some pace back. Yep. Isabel, yeah, that's how you get to Monaco if you want to do it by train, or you just fly into Nice, to be honest. Unless you don't like flying, which is fine. So, Hamilton, Verstappen, Russell. Hamilton, I don't know why Hamilton just hasn't been able to put the pressure on there. Maybe Mercedes know there's no points. I don't know. Maybe it'll just make Verstappen angry and they'll lose the position to Russell. So maybe this is really going to work out for Russell, actually. Having said that, because we're as we were. This is the order as it was. So it's showing that Russell is going to the end here on the mediums. So Russell will have done 78 laps on the mediums, which kind of makes a little bit of a mockery. There we go. Yeah, Russell's going to have done 78 laps on the mediums. Leclerc 8 seconds ahead. Yeah, surely just cruising to victory here. Doesn't need to, he's 8 seconds ahead practically. If he wants to, he can take his foot off the gas a little bit, but as a racing driver, I can let you know that sometimes when you try and just cruise, you end up weirdly going into the barrier and stuff. Can't quite explain it, but sometimes the safest thing to do is just to go as fast as you can. Track is empty. No, you can just see all the on the thing all of the drivers that haven't been lapped. That's why it looks empty. Piastri slowing Sainz for Norris. I think that would be silly because Piastri is such a big gap. So I don't think that's what's happening. If anyone says it is, even at McLaren, I don't believe them. Sargent did a great move. Yeah, I saw a replay there of a Williams. But Sargent is in the. He's on the back of Lando Norris. Leclerc is saying, "I'll just bring it home." This is going to be an amazing moment for Charles Leclerc. It's been a long time coming. I did worry from a few years ago that, Ferrari went off the boil or whatnot, then he might not be able to do it. But it looks like he is now going to win his home Grand Prix on the streets that he grew up in a Ferrari. And it doesn't actually get any better than that. It doesn't get any better than that at all. If Piastri beats Leclerc, it will be legendary, but it will be tragedy for Leclerc. Everything's different from a different point of view. Paul is saying Norris is cooking. I don't think Norris is cooking that much. Are we going to see any overtakes? What about Verstappen and Russell? I don't think so. 4 laps to go. Come on, Charles. Chat, if you're happy about Charles Leclerc getting this victory, put your Ferrari emoji in the chat. Put your Monegasque. Is there a Monegasque flag? If you want to send the good vibes to Charles, like we sent the good vibes to Lando at Miami, then let's see, because we don't want to send any bad fortune this way. The Tifosi been waiting for 2 years. Gonna have another race winner this season. Actually, who won in No, Carlos Sainz won in Australia, didn't he? There we go. I can see the support coming in. The MC Monegasque flag. See, it's a red card in the mix here as well. Don't know who that's for. Red flag. By the way, George Russell is now only about 7 seconds off Lando Norris. I'm not saying anything, but it's interesting how George Russell's pace has actually been he's managed to hold up with Norris on the mediums, and basically Verstappen probably didn't even need to pit in the end, I would say. In fact, it was probably really risky Verstappen pitting, because if Verstappen had a slight issue in the pit stop, he would have ended behind Hamilton. So Red Bull just backed themselves to do that pit stop competently. Don't know if I can call this a race. Well, the parade or whatever you want to call it. Someone's doing some nervous beads. Some lady, not sure who she is. Outdoor Leclerc is owed a win. It's been too long. Yep. If you're not aware of the curse, there has been a curse on Charles Leclerc. That looks like it's going to be ending. Dieter, this is going to be the best weekend of my life. Mitch Evans won the Shanghai alongside Casti in 3rd. Big Jaguar and Ferrari fan in the house then. Hopefully you've seen my interview with Nick Casti, if you're a big Casti fan. Kathy says, come on. Serena says, let's go. Chat, we need to see more. We need to see more in the chat here. We need it like we had in Miami for Lando. Because Charles Leclerc, I think I was in Monaco one time and Charles Leclerc put it on pole, but then he hit the wall and then he started the race on pole, but they found out that his gearbox was done and like all crazy stuff, and it rained and they told him to box. They didn't want him to box and everything. So we're going on to the last lap here. We're going on to the last lap right now. So this is it. Charles Leclerc is on the final lap. If he holds on here and doesn't break down, doesn't put it in the barrier, he will win his home Grand Prix, and he will break the curse. Few corners left. Goes into a casino here, around the casino, be a grandstand on the outside. Then the right-handed where it drops down, and around the hairpin, where it might be even taking his hand off the wheel to get that lock. And And then 2 right-handers here will be using the curb. Final right-hander goes into the tunnel. Very fast section here. We'll be hugging on the inside and then sort of wash wide on the exit here. Come back to the right-hand side of the track as he brakes, late braking into the chicane and the exit of the tunnel, trying to avoid that barrier on the inside there, around the curbs. And then very fast section, you can get right up close to personal. See there, into swimming pool, flick to the left, then flick to the right here, trying to avoid that barrier on the inside and the exit. And then around into Rascastle, again another slow corner, people have crashed. And then clipping the barriers on Anthony Nogues. And that's going to be, everyone, another different race winner this season. And it is Charles Leclerc, and he's done it from pole, and he's led every lap of this race, and he didn't even make a pit stop. It's actually turned out to be quite a comfortable win here for Charles Leclerc, and it is going to be Oscar Piastri in second and Carlos Sainz in third. Max Verstappen is going to be all the way down in P6. So this race, I think, has big championship connotations or permutations or summations in that Ferrari and McLaren on this sort of circuit look like they're ascendant. So what's it going to be like at a lot of the other street circuits that we visit this season? There's everyone in the chat. Shame we don't have the music, isn't it? There's everyone in the chat. Forza Ferrari. Let's go, GG Charles. Charles earned that win. Congrats, Charles. He is winning the vote as well. 65% on the driver of the day. Leclerc not far off the championship now. Hamilton got the fastest lap bonus point, by the way, with that 14.1. Matt, great coverage. Again, way better than Drivel on Sky. Don't worry about it. Great to have you on board. You guys and girls make this stream what it is, really. SizeX, Hammer Time. Fast lap for Hammer Time. Yes, indeed. Monagas P1. First win for Leclerc in home base. Next up, B&Q. Gabriel saying Ferrari. MCMC. Yes, indeed. It's great to see. It's just going to be a feel-good victory here. Thanks, Gil. Thanks, JT. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. It's just going to be a feel-good one here. The Prince of Monaco is happy. The Princess, you just don't know, but they look happy. Thank you, Snowline. Yeah, we continue as well our streak here. We have not missed a race this season. You just know, we're going to be here. Wherever we are in the world, we're going to be here for the GP. Are we going to see more Charles Leclerc is so happy in the cockpit, you can tell, to get this done. He's had such bad luck here. He's stuck with Ferrari. Ferrari is stuck with him. And it's paid off. And, it was, in the end, a pretty boring race by most accounts. We didn't see... I think it was ruined in a way by that first lap because everyone was able to change tyres. I think if people weren't able to change tyres, we would have potentially seen more interest with the pit stops, but it could have all been the same again anyway. No worries, Chaya. What race is up next, by the way? What is it? Canada next? What's coming up next? And is it in 2 weeks' time? No worries, Lucy. Great to have everyone on board here. Thanks, Matt, for the logos. Yeah, it's been fun, and it's a standing ovation at Monaco for Charles Leclerc, which you don't always see actually, but he's getting a full standing ovation because everyone knows that he really does deserve this. And in a period of what everyone assumed would be Red Bull domination, somehow Charles Leclerc has won the Monaco GP from pole and led every lap. No worries, children. Good to have you on board. Thanks, Vladka. Thanks for all the help in the modding. Thanks, Dev, Harp, Dano. Yeah, feel free to hit that subscribe. It really helps us out. It unlocks doors. Like we've been doing a lot of Formula E stuff, interviewing drivers. So if you enjoy it, please, the subscribe is the way of it kind of shows people that you do enjoy it. So please feel free to subscribe. I'm not very good at commentating. I like this, to be honest. I like this. I like the interaction. So I wouldn't. I honestly, I don't. Honestly, I would be very bad at commentating in like a linear TV whatever format. I like the interaction. So either this is a new way of experiencing like sport and live events, Formula One, in which case it's great, or isn't. Charles Leclerc, he's super happy, jumps into the mechanics. Thanks, Lucy. Guidance, manners, balance, one love. Yeah, a message we can all get behind there. Yeah, I mean the scenes are as you would expect. Charlotte is absolute chaos. Everyone's so happy for Charles, and it's a Ferrari 1-2. So it's a Ferrari double podium, 1-3. Am I following Le Mans this year? Yeah, I want to do Le Mans actually. I don't think I'm going to be going actually in the end, but I want to cover Le Mans. And we got long. Oh, the president of Ferrari's here as well. No one's really congratulating Carlos Sainz, but it's one of these ones where, with all respect, it's not his day. It's not his day, but still, he did a really good job there, and I'm sure there was lots of strategy going on in the background with how it worked. His brother's there, Carlos Sainz, part of his team. No worries, Ragavir. Thanks for all the support as well. We got some donations. Where does that show? That shows somewhere. I just want to make sure. Ragavir, Andreas, and Kaylee as well. So very much appreciated. Yeah, Charles. I mean, this is going to be. This is the thing about Monaco. Is like, as a spectacle to watch on TV, it's often not great, but it's what it is. Sometimes it's like what it means, and being there as well is different. K-Mag is going to spend some race. Yeah, I mean that needs to be investigated. I really recommend that you look at that incident on YouTube or social media, whatever, and let me know what you think of it, because I thought it was a bit of a weird one from K-Mag. 3, 2, 1. I didn't know. There's so many emojis I didn't even know existed, which is kind of crazy. So they're doing the trophies now next to the Planet Sushi place. That's how it works. You don't get that. You don't get that anywhere else. 50,000 people passing through the stream today, which is loads of people when you think about it. Yeah, Charles just looks like it's a real weight that's been lifted off him. That makes sense. He's having to take a few moments, I think, to process it. Probably something that he's dreamed about pretty much all of his life, and then you achieve it. Because when you're a racing driver, you know your focus is on racing and getting into Formula One, then winning the Monaco GP. Puts him closer, maybe, in contention for the Triple Crown one day. You never know. Canada next race, 9th of June. There we go. 9th of June. Snow says the curse has been broken. Is it over? Snowfy, yeah, it's over. Charles Leclerc has won. Charles Leclerc has won. V-Carb and RB were playing tic-tac-toe on Twitter. Banter. Great. That's just fantastic banter there. And what does it do for the championship now? Is Charles Leclerc, he might not even really be thinking about this right now, but like, is he a genuine championship contender? He could be. Charles needed that win. I think he did. I just wonder. I mean, he's very good at qualifying. Very good at qualifying, and that might give him a little bit of an edge over Carlos Sainz. And if Carlos Sainz is happy to play a number 2 position here, is Carlos Sainz going to be a better number 2 to Leclerc than Perez will be to Verstappen? You would think so. Welcome, Dave. Great to have you on board here. We do every F1 race. So the next one will be 9th of June, Canada. But we're also going to do Formula E. Isn't it just Portland and London left? Are there any more E-Prix left apart from London and Portland? Because we'll do all of those. In fact, we're going to be at London. We'll do a watch along from London. We might be in an actual commentary booth for that one. We might do a meetup as well. And hopefully next season with Formula E, fingers crossed, if they've liked how it's gone this season, we'll go to more races. So tickly cough. Nigel Mansell, very predictable result, but we knew this. Yeah, it feels different though. Like, it's a bit different that when you're completely right, because in the end Leclerc won from pole, and that's like, oh, that's boring. But if it was Verstappen winning from pole, it'd be really boring. But Leclerc winning from pole is, you know. But welcome, David Booth. Will Ferrari overtake Red Bull in the constructors? Not sure, but I'd say both McLaren and Ferrari are probably catching. You can't. Perez is really not helping Red Bull here. Now, not Indy 500 because I'm gonna fly my drone. I'm gonna fly my drone, get some drone footage. I'm gonna drive somewhere and fly the old drone. Yuki did well again. Yeah, I think Yuki, did pretty much as well as he could do. He beat out everyone else. Did a lot better than his teammate Daniel Ricciardo. Only Portland and London, so it'd be double header in Portland, double header in London. That season's gone quickly. Wow, that Formula E season's gone like it's super quick. Although we were meant to go to India, so that would have been. And I think we would have got a lot of really interesting content out from India. I think the problem with the Formula E stuff is that the last two driver interviews I did really didn't do very well, and I was hoping they'd do a little bit better. So hopefully they don't look at that and they're like, oh, it's not really worth doing it. So just got to work out how we can make those videos a little bit better that people want to watch them. Because I get more views clipping a gameplay short than those videos got, and they take a lot of money and time, basically. Charles and Team Ferrari bring it home. Yes. Carlos Sainz for another really solid result as well. He's won a race this season in Melbourne. Just Ferrari looked like a really strong unit, and I just don't know. What if Lewis Hamilton comes in and he's like a Sergio Perez sort of figure at Ferrari next year? I don't know. Lucy Piastri did amazing. Yep. Full credit to Piastri, and he really put the pressure on for a lot of. He hassled Charles Leclerc. Charles Marc Hervé Percival Leclerc to say his full name. Was Tsunoda close on the fastest lap then? 14.7. Yeah, Tsunoda was cheekily going for fastest lap, wasn't he? I mean, he was 6/10 off in the end, but I imagine he was going for it. Red Bull 276, Ferrari 252, but doesn't it feel like this is a bit of a change in momentum? And I suspect the Adrian Newey thing is massive. I suspect he's not really part of the team right now because they know he's going to go somewhere else. They don't want to tell him anything that he's going to take. And that's the end of Red Bull, really, without Adrian Newey, potentially. This might be the beginning of the end. And if Red Bull start to not do... I mean, what if Red Bull start doing worse than RB Cash App? I don't know. It's long. You think that's not going to happen, but you just don't know. Does possibly love interviews don't ask generic questions? Yes, I don't fully understand it, but it's not the sort of videos that I would click on and watch either. So, and they're not sensationalist or controversial in any way. It's just so maybe I need to be a bit more controversial about it. I can ask drivers to say some controversial things. Max dominance ending. 100%. I say he's still odds on to win the season, but I would say the dominance is definitely ending. I think that's completely fair to say. Yeah, Esteban Ocon didn't look too bothered walking away. I suspect he lives here. Ferrari, yeah, Ferrari's president's there. Ferrari, it's a great result for Ferrari. They might sell a few more Ferrari cars as a result of this. Hamilton can still win championships. Let's see when he comes back. Yeah, someone posted the constructors just above. Oh, Mark Webber giving him maybe what members can do the interviews. I don't know. Another person who's won here for Red Bull. If you're Ferrari, if you could choose now, would you rather have Lewis Hamilton or would you rather have Oscar Piastri? I think Piastri should keep the race suit as well. Like the yellow and green, it's very like Australian. I can't believe Piastri was meant to be in Alpine. he dodged such a bullet. He did kind of do them over as well, but I mean that's business, I suppose. Piastri, yeah. I want to do another F1 podcast. If we do another F1 podcast, please watch it. Because if you watch them, then we do more of them. But it'd be fun to like do a F1 podcast tomorrow where we talk about the race and everything. And yeah, sold out just turned up. But unfortunately, the race has ended, my friend. Ferrari 24 points behind. So, chat, I have a video coming out. I don't know whether to release it because I've got a grid walk video. So if you see the grid walk video come out and where I talk about the differences between Formula E and Formula One, please go and watch it and leave it like. I might release it tonight, potentially. We're working on a thumbnail, or it will come out next week. I've also got an interview coming out with Sam Bird, and I've got an interview coming out with James Barkley as well, head of Jaguar Motorsport. So I've got a lot of motorsport content coming, and there's going to be all of the sim racing and VR stuff and gaming stuff. Just keep trying to make the good videos. Keep trying to get to 10k views in a video, 10k views in a short. I think is a really good target. And we can stream wherever we are in the world. It's quite a nice setup that I've got here in terms of me being able to do it. No worries, sold out. Sargent raced to the 2023 front wing today. To be honest, he was doing really well at the end of the race. Have a look at his lap times there. But he must have had to box again or something. But there we go, chat. That's going to be it today. That's going to be it. I'm not going to do Indy because I'm gonna live my life a little bit today. I'm gonna fly the drone. I don't actually share any of the drone footage I do really. I just fly my drone over the sea and things like that. But thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Almost 500 likes. 56,000 people have passed through the stream, which is amazing. It's really cool for me to be able to do it. Even the marshals are crying. They're very emotional about this. Some of them, the marshals, they're not full-time marshals. They'll be teachers and bakers and whatnot, and they might have seen Charles Leclerc come in as a kid and get some croissants and whatnot. So very powerful story there. But it's been a fun stream for us today. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. I've lost control of everything here. There we go. I will see you next time. It's a win for Charles Leclerc at Monaco. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.